This week on the program, the pearl clutching that this movie caused in this country upon release is one of the funniest things you will ever hear about. It's Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Eric Slayska.
Candy Cane Chris Cabin.
Oh, fuck yeah. And we hate movies. Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning in. As always, that's right. We're talking Charles E. Sellier Jr.'s 1984...
Sellier? Sellier.
S-E-L-L-I-E-R, I believe.
That sounds like one of the ingredients they put into the pot in the Chewbacca Christmas special.
Oh, when you're making the roast
there's all
there, the Bantha roast.
For Life
this
Day, you
is-
throw in a director of Silent Night, Deadly Night.
This
into
is
the pot.
paprika.
Yeah.
This is a little De Palma we're putting in this.
I guess that's a perfect segue, Chris. We should mention that we are doing this Star Wars holiday special
are
on
indeed.
Patreon. Yeah.
It's amazing we have not even started talking about this movie.
No.
You're fucking plugging
Yeah.
other episodes.
Oh, of course. Well, listen to that one. That's a good one.
But this is Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's a
is.
Christmas horror classic.
It is a classic. I love this movie. I think it's a great movie, actually.
I think it's a perfect slasher. Like
Yep.
right down the middle. I don't think it has any. It's like no fuss, no muss. That's kind of what I like a lot about it.
It's a shampoo. Speaking of no fuss, no muss. Like it's like a shampoo that knows it's really good and it gets the job done, but it's not trying to turn your head with a bunch of fancy smells and whatnot.
Yeah. You got to
It's-
add conditioner after.
It's not the orange dandruff shampoo that smells like you're degreasing something.
Oh no!
We should quickly mention that Steve
Yes.
we told him, listen, it's gonna be a lot of fun if you dress as Santa for this episode. Come on in
Right.
as Santa. The fella had a psychotic break.
yeah,
Total freak out.
He remembered what happened with his father, but I
Yeah.
mean, and it was a dark night. You know,
Last we heard from him, he was saying punish, and he laughed. So
Punish, naughty, punish, naughty.
I think that's most of the dialogue in this film, which is great. Another reason I love this movie as a slasher is we're not hiding who the killer is. I think a lot of modern horror does this. It's
Sure.
It's like, oh, who did it? Ooh, who did it?
because
I
it's
like
another thing.
the psychology behind it.
It's another thing to add to this because the slasher doesn't have much. Like, right? It's you know, it's a little revenge tale or some kind of killer tale. Like,
Sure.
6 kids are there, 5 kids get killed. This is how it happens.
A lot of these kinds of movies are math equations, and I think the one way you make it like sort of more quote unquote interesting is when you had like the whodunit slasher, like your first Friday the 13th, like
Right.
who's behind that POV,
Oh, yeah.
et cetera, versus like knowing that it's like Michael Myers the whole time or whatever. And I do like when the business is just out in the open.
Yes.
I really
Yes.
do.
I do, yeah.
It's like, I mean, like that is why. I mean, it's not from the very beginning, I guess. I mean, this is why The Vanishing is the best movie ever. It's just like
Sure.
right about halfway through, you're like, oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
You're like,
I like scenes where I can like sit with the killer too and
Yeah.
like
Yes.
observe what's going on with that person or whatever, instead of just like a bunch of either like lame POV kills or just like, a hand came out of nowhere and slashed your throat and vanished into the night.
Exactly.
man.
I do really appreciate getting to know the killer.
well, because I think the issue is that whodunits, we know all the equations,
Right.
Like, and if you can't do any of those, you know, occasionally they sneak up on you and you get something that actually surprises you.
Yeah.
I'm forgetting the last time. But like it does happen occasionally.
When you're saying the reveal surprises
yeah,
you?
it's always
Oh,
a
sure.
letdown.
It is.
It's almost always
exactly.
a letdown.
It's always
Yeah.
a letdown, and then you if the rewatchability is a factor too, because then you watch these movies and then it's just like you're focusing on this red herring so much, and
Yep.
you've seen it now 100 times. So what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I will say,
yeah, sure.
with Scream though, to get back to slashers, it is interesting to rewatch it knowing Skeet and
Matthew Lillard.
Lillard
Yeah.
are the guys, because Ski Arc actually does play it up a bit in that before it's revealed.
Yeah.
Like you can see him like kind of like adding little things to it.
Yeah, and I think like the direction you give for stuff like that, and maybe Wes even did that for those two dudes, is like, all right, in this scene, like you're acting like you are the killer.
Yeah.
And in this other scene, you're not the killer. Kind of like how what's her face? Mary Harron, I believe, directed
American Psycho?
Yes, how she directed Defoe in that movie. Like in this scene, you know that Patrick Bateman is the murderer.
Yes.
In this
That's
take, you
amazing.
don't.
Yeah.
In this
Right, and
take,
then she edited them all together,
exactly.
and it's such a weird stew that you can even see how Patrick Bateman would be like, what is going on?
It's tightrope. It's a total
Yes.
tightrope.
Hey, speaking of a total tightrope,
Yeah.
Releasing these kinds of movies when you do, this movie was released the same exact day as A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
It's
Same exact
so
day.
Funny that this got the pearl clutching, and it's like, oh, a janitor child molester who the town burns in a furnace,
Yeah.
who comes back from the dead to kill you in your dreams with a knife glove. Everyone's applauding it. This movie got dragged through the dirt, got protested in the streets.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Roger Ebert and Gene Siskel
Ridiculous.
acting like this is the end of civilization.
Absolutely insane of either of them to do that. But I think it is because, well, Freddy, I mean, that's not happening. Crazy guy in a Santa Claus costume axing a couple people to death. That could happen. You know,
That's true.
You get one of these Santa con guys
And
a
it
little
will
too
happen.
pissed off.
And it will happen.
It might happen.
This year, I vow it.
Well,
Oh,
you
there
got
you
your
go.
costume already?
No, Steve's out in the woods.
Oh, okay.
It's going to happen. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I can see that, dude, but like, complaining about one and not the other when literally both came out on the same day is very funny. Also, though, interestingly, this movie was outgrossing Nightmare on Elm Street in the first week, and then after all the stupid pearl clutching protests, TriStar Pictures pulled the movie from theaters,
Think about
and
that.
Nightmare on Elm Street goes on to be Nightmare on Elm Street.
We could have lived in a different world where we had way more Santa murder content.
Oh, well, it's idiotic. Like, what? Leave it. Oh, everybody's talking about this movie. Let's make sure they can't see it. That's what I mean. The Howard Stern formula. Like, you piss them off enough that they need to see it. And
Sure.
like,
Right.
if it's a situation like that where fucking papers and opinion pieces are being written about the thing,
People are gonna sneak in and
People
see
wanna
that
see it.
movie. Yeah, no,
Mhm.
exactly. Like TriStar only like undercut money they could have made.
I
here.
watched a news, like there's on YouTube, there's some like, supplemental stuff about this movie, news footage of like actual broadcasters talking about the protests and
Ugh.
stuff, and how like now they're trying to use the controversy and put it back in theaters in like May or something.
Oh,
You
interesting.
had to be far enough away from Christmas. So
sure.
they were trying to cash in on it. And it's, I don't know if it was the director. I think it was the producer, actually. Who's funny enough named Ira. I guess
Oh,
named
like,
after
I think
Ira
is
Roy's
actually,
name.
yeah, the story. Yeah.
And he was saying like that, Ebert and Siskel like are hypocritical because it's like you wanted something to talk about and you got it. And if you really thought this movie should be buried, you wouldn't even have addressed it. You wouldn't have risen its profile by
Exactly.
covering it on
Correct.
the movies.
completely correct.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
just dead on.
Siskel's thing where he's like listing the names of like the production companies
shut
and
the
like
Yeah,
they're associated. It's like,
shame
are
them.
you happy with yourselves?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they were for the first fucking weekend. They were making money hand over fucking foot.
Oh, walk into traffic, Gene. Like, Jesus.
This is things like, they famously hated so many slashers. They hated Friday the 13th Part 4,
Oh,
especially.
sure. Yes, yeah.
And it's just like this movie is actually trying to get there. It's doing more than those. I mean, I probably love a lot of the Friday movies more, but this is really trying to get to the psychology of a killer in a way,
Yeah.
in a very interesting way that hasn't been done all that often, and just to pan it outright.
Well, because it's all about this false moralism, right? It's just like a traditional view of what, like, because they like, I'm sorry, they both have love movies that infer similar kind of situations.
Sure.
It's just the filming of it, and even the filming of it, I would bet you there are bloody movies that they both were like, oh, that's fine because it's realistic.
Well, because this is, I think it's like, because you're daring slander the almighty Santa Claus.
Oh, jeez.
And
Right,
that's
I guess, you could, if you want to see their point, I guess you think about you're watching television, your kids are there, they have a TV spot for Silent Night, Deadly Night. And it's like, what? Santa's mean.
No, a mean Santa. I don't think I would like to hear about Black Peter or Krampus or any of those things. I mean, it's just,
but it's existed prior to this. There's that famous song, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. This dude was getting down chimneys. He was trying to get into your mom's chimney.
The same people who hated this movie and got all pissy about it,
right?
Absolutely love that song.
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, I would love. You know what? I'd love to be cucked by Santa.
This is a better song, doll. Santa's coming. Is it? No. Santa's watching.
Yeah.
Santa's creeping. Santa's coming.
Yeah,
White Christmas.
Santa's watching through the peephole.
Santa's jerking in his motel. Oh, that's Psycho. Excuse me.
He's watching through the peephole, playing with his pee hole.
Oh, but now it's the glory hole.
Oh shit!
He decides mid-game.
There you go.
That's an in-game decision.
That is how this movie starts, with eerie, sing-songy. It's like it's a Christmas-themed nursery rhyme, is what it kind of sounds like. I mean, because speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, it does kind of sound like 1, 2, Freddy, like that kind of shit.
It does.
But I do like it. I like. We've been touching on this a lot, and I feel like we got to keep pumping it up because
pump it.
You got to pump it, dude.
Pump it up.
Pump it.
Opening credits. Getting us ready to get into the movie. Everybody put your soda in the cup holder.
Yeah.
We got a movie coming here. We got gentle opening titles. It's a cool, like, flashy light font kind of.
You go in, like there's a pull into the wreath. And it's like, I think is that a Halloween specific thing?
Oh,
like moving in on the
jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because that's the first thing I thought of, but like I don't know if there's another movie that did it before that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But we start. It's Christmas Eve, 1971. We're in Bartlett's Field is the name of the town. This is Utah, I believe we're told.
Of course it is.
It's the Utah mental facility. Not the Bakersfield.
That side. So it's like it's this family of it's a mom and a dad, a little toddler there, and I believe an infant. Is there a baby?
There's a baby.
There's a baby.
And we are driving, and it's kind of funny because this movie came out 2 years before Christmas Vacation, but Christmas Vacation opens with the Griswolds in the shipbox station wagon, wood panel station wagon, driving on like a snow-covered road. And this is the same exact start, and it's kind of funny because the woman playing the mother looks almost exactly like Beverly D'Angelo.
Right,
Did you guys notice that?
Definitely has a feel about. I would love if fucking Holiday Road start kicked in.
Oh my god,
now
Santa's funny.
Santa's assaulting your mother. Roll up those windows.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Utah mental facility.
And we get to this sign, and it is just Utah mental facility is the sign that's out front of this building. Very funny. And it's like, all right, we're going to visit Grandpa. Oh, Grandpa doesn't even talk. He doesn't know we're there anymore. Blah, blah, blah. We got to go because it's the holidays or whatever. They go in to visit. And I love, because it's like a cheap, low budget movie, right? But here's this like mental facility, such as it is. It's just the family, the grandfather, and the one attendant. There's not a single extra to be fucking found. They are the only people in this building.
Yes, we're saving money. We're making a cheap and effective movie. We're just getting in and out.
Yeah. I mean, but at that point, I would offer like a beer to someone on the street. Hey, would you walk behind this person?
Chris, it's Utah. There's no one on the street.
Oh yeah,
there's no one there.
There's nobody. It's a ghost town.
It's empty. Is this the best movie out of Utah?
I don't know, but it's
we
definitely
have to do
up
some
there.
research.
But we'd have to do a lot of research.
Well, they filmed in some of those salt flats for Planet of the Apes, and that's a better movie than this.
That's true. That could have used Santa though.
Is that where the Outwaters was shot to, or is that
out
California?
God, is that it's get your damn dirty Santa glove off of me.
To answer Chris's question that he was asking about the Outwaters, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember where that was filmed. But yes, Eric, to your point, I feel like I'm a parent going back and forth here. But Eric, your point about Santa talking to the Planet of the Apes is also very funny.
I'll look up where the Outworlds was shot. Let's see. That was
Outwaters.
Outwaters.
Okay, I'm thinking of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, that fucking Mortal Kombat Annihilation, those were some weird salt flats areas.
Yeah,
Maybe
you might be right there.
It looks like it belongs to California.
There
Mojave
we go.
Desert.
There we go. The grandfather, by the way, the actor Will Hare playing this like catatonic grandfather.
I recognized him.
Old man Peabody from Back to the Future.
Of course.
Oh.
You space bastard! You killed my pie!
All right, that's it. We gotta put him in the home now.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He was talking about the pine being murdered.
Yep. Oh, he thinks an alien destroyed his pine tree.
He keeps babbling how it would have been called the Twin Pines Mall, but now it's just Lone Pine Mall.
Now it's got to be the Lone Pine Mental Facility.
No, sir, it was chopped down. It was not killed. Like, you can't slaughter it.
And I guess it's like the explanation is what, like, grandpa's crazy because, like, what is the motivation of this grandfather just completely destroying his grandson's life in this moment?
I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
if
Pretty awesome. This is what I would do if I had kids.
this is, I
This
thought
is-
of you exactly.
Yes.
the greatest
Oh, yeah.
example of why you should not have children is you would fucking do this to them hardcore.
Yes. Well, I dog-toothed the first generation.
Oh,
And
yeah,
then the
really
next-
messed them up good.
The next generation, I'd be like, Christmas Eve is the scariest night of the year.
Well, it's the scheming, right? It's the
Yeah.
waiting until your son
Right.
leaves the room
Now,
and being
that's
looking around,
amazing.
being like, Santa kills people on Christmas Eve. He comes into your house and he'll take what you love.
He only gives presents to the good ones, but if you've been naughty, you're done.
But son, he's catatonic. He hasn't said anything for years.
Yeah. You better run, boy. You better run for your life. And like, that's what the play acting is what is so fucked up about it. Cause it's like, oh yeah, grandpa just sits here all day, whatever. And then the single attendant in the Utah mental facility is like, oh, can I please, we'll just go to the other room and talk about your father's condition or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
And they all
yeah.
walk away and they leave this little boy with the grandfather. And that's when this dude comes to life like
Yeah.
a magic
Mhm.
nutcracker of some kind.
Yes. And common trope, right? The harbinger of doom here.
Yes.
Sure.
Well, but I kind of like the idea of this being the whole thing, like a Lucille Bluth-esque scheme that got out of control.
oh, sure.
He hired the guy in the Santa Claus costume.
Oh, it's Gene Parmesan.
Yeah, Gene Parmesan.
Oh, Gene took it way too far then, if that's the case.
I tried to tell him to stay off the sauce before he got on the job, and he just let it get away from him.
That's the other thing, Chris. Good point. There's no evidence that this grandfather, old man Peabody here, is consuming alcohol, but this guy's playing it like he's wasted, which
baby.
is great.
You can
yeah.
smell it.
So they get back in the car, and it's like, mommy, Santa Claus is gonna because the kid's like, mommy, were you ever naughty? And she's like, oh, maybe a few times. And he's like, oh yeah, well, Santa Claus is gonna punish you then. They're like, what the fuck? What did you say to me? What did you hear that from? And he's like, oh, that's what grandpa said. The dude driving the car like, oh fuck, now my kid's crazy too. That guy hasn't spoken a word in years.
All right, you know what? We're gonna just go to your racist father next time. It's not this bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not this bad.
I'll just put earmuffs on. It
Tell
is
him to
kind
leave
of
the
You
room.
know what? I'd argue it's probably better to fear Santa Clauses than general swaths of people.
Well, yeah, that's maybe a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
It is kind of funny though when they're like, "Where did you hear that from?" And he's like, "Oh, Grandpa told me." And the wife goes, "Oh, geez, honey, wow, what a development for your father. Should we go back to the hospital and tell them?" The dude's like, "Nah." It just keeps going.
If
I
they
don't
did,
think so.
if they did, none of this would have happened.
You're
just-
totally right.
Kept on saying nobody can help you. Nobody can help you.
Man. So like that's the awkward convo happening. We cut to this convenience store and like this is where the movie just jumps in head first. There's a dude comes in as Santa Claus. He's buying stuff and then it's a holdup. And this guy is just like, you know, getting the cash or whatever. The fucking cashier tries to do a one false move kind of a thing. And this Santa Claus fucking murders this guy.
Gets him real good.
Squib City, by the way.
Including a shot in the head. Now, I think I saw this movie was shorter, and now there's an 80-something minute cut.
I
going
saw
on.
the 84-minute cut.
Yes,
Me
me too. Yeah, it adds a little more gore and violence, but you can tell what was cut because the quality changes.
Yes, yeah, because this was what you can rent is the Scream Factory Blu-ray edition, and that was
Right.
like they tried their best, and those added moments like were so fucked up that you couldn't restore them really.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how I saw the unrated version of My Bloody Valentine.
Oh,
Had these kinds of switches to less
sure.
degraded footage.
I actually don't mind that stuff because
I do like it.
It's, when I'm
Yeah.
watching those extended things, I'm always like, what was the stuff that was extended? At least this way you can tell.
Exactly.
When
I
it looks
kinda like
shitty,
it.
it's the lost footage.
It's at the benefit. Excuse me if I'm going to be a snob here for a second. It is the benefit of watching like essay films. Is that stuff like that, like the Metropolis supercut with all the stuff in it,
oh, sure,
is
yeah.
amazing to me. I love it, and it's
Yeah.
because like you can like, oh yeah, just a piece of paper in there. That's fine.
This is the storyboard part
Yeah,
of what this was supposed
I
to
like
look
that.
like.
I
It's
think
pretty
that's really cool.
And the actor playing the killer Santa here is Charles Deerkop.
He's a deer cop.
You might know.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
he's got a very interesting face. You can't really see it in this movie because he's got the beard on.
Yeah.
He's got a very, very like flattened nose and stuff. Very interesting look. He was in The Sting, Butch Cassidy,
Wow.
and 1985, I believe, is The Fix,
Oh yeah.
which is some movie I found on VHS that doesn't exist outside of that
oh
one
wait.
copy.
Oh,
I
I'm
don't think.
thinking of a different movie. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's kind of a unknown movie that's not worth your time, but it's one that I've seen. So
I
I'm
was just
mentioning
thinking
it.
of the Australian pop band The Fix.
Oh yes,
Which
it's
is-
a
it's
great
a
band. dude.
Extra X there. And
Yeah, yeah.
Not much in the way of
Great
movies.
band.
Although featured in House of the Devil, some of the
Yes.
music anyway. So anyway, this dude goes, because the cashier, before he pulls the gun, is like, what are you doing? And the guy goes, I'm holding you up, asshole, which is fucking great.
I mean, the first guy who thought of putting on the Santa Claus costume before killing someone,
yeah.
that must have been like the first guy who found gold in a river.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
You must be really just, oh my God, nobody's thought of this?
Right.
No one, because nobody suspects Santa Claus.
And like a Santa suit's perfect if you want to go camouflage in blood, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yes, there's gonna be a lot of blood, and you're already wearing red.
Are you having problems getting into homes of people you want to thieve or murder? Well, you
Yeah.
just show up looking like, say, I'm here for donations for the orphanage.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Santa Claus.
If you have a break from
Absolutely.
reality, it is a great idea.
Incredible idea.
Yeah.
Just genius work.
Like another great movie, probably better than this one, Christmas Evil.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I love
Christmas
that movie.
Evil has a great when you see places advertising, maybe playing Christmas Evil or like Christmas Evil top picks, top horror holiday picks or whatever. Everyone always uses the same frame, and it's of the Santa. It's the beginning of the movie. It's the Santa like on his knees and basically like putting his face in the mother's crotch in front of the Christmas tree, and like that's the promotion.
Hey, mommy's kissing Santa Claus, or
Santa Claus is kissing mommy
Yeah.
downtown, dude. That's what's going on
it's,
in that movie.
instead of Santa Claus, Santa Conolingus today.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Santa Cunnilingus
Yeah,
indeed.
it's-
That
it's,
just rolls off
Oh,
the
wait,
tongue.
wait, wait, wait.
Merry
Santa,
Christmas.
wait, I got it.
Yes, please.
Santa Claus-alingus.
Oh, yep.
There it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. It rolls off the tongue.
Yep, fixed it, tightened it up. There it is.
Yeah, it's a finger at a certain point that the claws.
I love this dude in the parking lot. Like after he straight up murders this guy and empties out his cash register, he's out in the parking lot and he looks and he goes, $31. Merry fucking Christmas.
I'm really put out by murdering you.
That's like
Yeah.
you robbed a fucking dirt shit convenience store on
Yeah.
the side of a dark highway. What did you think the
It's-
score was going
It's
to be?
Utah. You're lucky you got that much.
Yeah. You gotta, what you should have done is should knock over one of like a soda bar or something.
Oh,
Ooh.
sure.
Yeah, then you would get the real money. That's where the high spenders
Kill all
are.
the soda jerks.
Yeah, the highest quality root beer. That's what really
Yeah,
gets
all
you
the
fucked up.
$5 milkshakes
Yep.
and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right,
baby.
because it's Utah, right? They don't.
Yeah.
It's verboten to
Mormon
drink. Yeah.
country.
That's right. I mean, this gas station looks like the gas station that bookends Halloween 3. Just middle of nowhere highway road.
Yes,
And
yeah.
you can tell it's the middle of the nowhere highway road
Because
because
it's Utah.
well, because it's Utah. But here comes our intrepid family driving along, singing a song, having a great day. And who's that broken down on the side of the road? Oh, could it be Santa Claus himself, kids? Listen, point of order. and
Never
just
stop for anyone.
I mean, never stop for anyone, but especially, I'm sorry, a dude dressed up like Santa.
Yeah.
Because if it's a real,
any costume.
good point.
Yes.
But again, if you see specifically a Santa, because we got to warn this time of year, dude. You know,
Oh,
if you
right.
see a Santa Claus on
Yeah.
the side of the road and he's still dressed up and he's got the hat and the fake beard or whatever, don't stop, because any non-psychopath would take the jacket off, take the beard
Yes.
off. Hey, I'm just a guy that broke
Yes.
down on the side of the road.
Obviously.
Right.
You're not
Yes.
staying in your Santa Claus
But-
getup.
But to Eric's point, I would sooner trust someone in the vampire little blood streaks down the chin thing before I'm trusting a Santa Claus in the middle of the road.
But what if it's near Christmas? Isn't that unsettling? Some kind of full Dracula outfit?
Nah, I trust it more. He's not trying to get one over me. He's clearly just crazy.
Dracula's some monster you can reason with. Santa, you don't know what he's thinking.
No, because that guy, he's all black and white. You're either naughty or nice, and that's it.
Right.
At least Dracula, dude, he sees the in between.
He bends the rules. He's like, are you sexy enough to have sex with instead of outright murder? Or are you like cool enough? Maybe I could have a buddy. I'll turn you.
Yeah, because Dracula does care about social circles.
He loves that shit.
He wants to keep up appearances to a certain degree.
I mean, that's why he's buying fucking Carfax Abbey or whatever.
That's right.
It's just to keep up appearances. Dracula is in society. Santa is off the grid, isolated, North Pole asshole.
I agree with all this, but to be fair, he used to be better. Now I sound like a grampy. He used to be better, but after he had his encounter with the Oogie Boogie Man, he went right off the rails. You're right. He just became really bitter, resentful.
Yes.
I'll tell you though.
Piece of shit, Santa.
We're recording this on like December 2nd, so we are in the throes of the holiday season, such as it is. I gotta say, I'd probably be freaked out if I was driving along and there was a fucking Dracula broken down on the side of the road.
I'd be fine. But
certainly out of season for you, Count.
The Santa Claus would freak me out, though. I'd be immediately like, no.
Yeah, no, I see those dudes outside of like a mall setting or like jingling a bell for a shitty Salvation Army thing.
Right, yeah. What is that all about? Is that a real thing?
It is, but like the
anyway?
Salvation Army's got some problems.
Yeah, I saw one guy on the local news from the Salvation Army the other day in full military uniform. I'm like, I didn't think it was an actual army.
Oh, now it is, dude.
You know, they got like generals and things.
They're recruiting.
Yeah,
the Salvation Army.
Yeah,
they got a lot of officers too, not too many petties.
So this scene is pretty horrifying. So the guy comes up. It's like, oh, Santa Claus, eh? What can we? And the dad is playing along with the dude. He's like, oh, what can we do for you, Santa? I'm like, dude, your family's gonna get murdered right now.
It's so dumb. Don't call him Santa.
Yeah, exactly, sir. What's going? Did you break down on your way to the department store, sir? Is the JCPenney expecting you in 40 minutes?
Well, yeah, this guy's got to get a couple lines off first. He's been boiling. He's just been thinking, oh, man, can I get a riff going with this guy?
Yep.
Mid fucking panic attack.
Yes.
For my child.
And so this dude pulls out a gun and shoots the father. Well, no, the dad. Yeah. He pulls out the gun and the dad is like, oh, Santa, how could you? And like this dude backs up the car. Santa, though,
just go forward.
Yeah, run this fucker down or run, away from him or whatever. So Santa starts firing off here like it's fucking Lethal Weapon. Gets this dad right between the eyes through the windshield. Dude, pretty wild. Total headshot.
It's awesome.
And the dad, because of that, like jerks the wheel. The car goes flying into a fucking ditch or whatever. And the dad falls out dead. The mom's trying to run away. The kid runs off into the woods, but like just so far enough that he can turn back and watch all this horror unfold. And like this guy's like assaulting this woman. It's fucking horrible.
But don't worry, he stops and murders her.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true. Yes.
It seems to be an attempted situation that then becomes a full-on murder instead.
And this dude, when he rips the shirt open, it's kind of the scariest part of the movie because he just goes, ho, ho, ho. And I was like, oh, no. So yeah, she's dead. He decides to just cut her throat instead. And then he's like looking for the kid. And he's like, where are you, you little bastard? And like you're seeing from little Billy's point of view, like a very scary Santa Claus man with blood all over him and maybe some of your father's brains.
Yeah.
Looking for you, calling you a little bastard or whatever. And like this kid is ruined forever.
I know, but he should have channeled this into a more effective method, like Batman, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
sure.
became Santa Man. He faced his fears, embraced it earlier.
Dude, yeah. Underneath his house, it's like a total winter wonderland. That's where his hideout is.
He dresses up as Santa and just murders like bad Santas.
He's got
like that.
His Joker is Jesus.
Yes.
The guy who will just show
Honestly,
up.
Probably the most ultimate Joker of all time. Jesus. Yeah.
He's got a calling card, a little cross here.
A thing for theatrics like you turns water into wine. Gives a calling card. It's a resurrected Lazarus.
It's just a lot of fish.
It's a ton of fish.
It's just a card, and it's made out of like communion wafer
Yeah.
material.
Yeah. That he's a powerful guy. That Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
bet
But like Joker,
he'd probably beat Joker and Santa in a fight.
I think you're going to be my false idol for a long time.
you want to know how I got these holes in my hands?
Yeah. You want to know how I got this stigmata? Yeah. Oh my God. That's the next step. I know Mel Gibson kind of already did a Jesus horror movie.
Oh, sure.
But
he sure
Jesus
did.
horror movie. He like the night he came back. My God.
Hey, and actually, not to say too many good things about the Passion of the Christ, but I will say, met with, I would argue, much more vociferous, loud, obnoxious protesting when that movie was released. And you know what? They kept it in theaters, and
Yeah.
it made a shit ton of
Of course
money.
they did.
Right. And Last Temptation
The
of Christ too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's the stupid fucking horse company that doesn't understand these things.
So here we go. December 1974. Now, this is what I love. We are now at, we're told, St. Mary's Home for Orphan Children. And I'm telling you, if you
Yeah.
go back and look at the tape, it is the exact same sign they used for Utah Mental Facility and just repainted it and
Nice.
put this Home for Orphans sign on
What's
it
the
instead.
difference? Once you're done with the orphanage, you go to the mental
Yeah,
facility.
either or, really. Send them either place.
Yeah, you turn 18, no one came and bought you from the pound.
Right.
so-
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you're a young child, you can run rampant in this mental facility. There's nobody around. You could fucking start a little cult for yourself.
Exactly. We saw the outside. It was a huge building. And on the
Yeah.
inside, no one was inside. And we only saw one room.
Unless your orphanage is a kill shelter, you know.
Well, that is, you know,
So those are the
yeah.
ones you should be adopting, folks.
Yes, you should absolutely be doing that.
But so it's like a classroom setting, and this nun who we meet, Sister Margaret, who will continue throughout the film here.
Margaret Loomis.
Yes, that's exactly her all.
A good call. This
It's
is
a good-
100%.
It's a good Loomis. It's like
Yeah.
a Loomis, if Loomis was actually trying to help Michael.
Yes, like
Yeah.
she, unlike Dr. Loomis, seems to be pretty good at her nun teaching
Yes,
job.
her nunnery. Is that what they call it?
Nunning. Her
The
nunning.
nunning.
The nunnening.
The nunnening.
The
nun- The Nun 3, the nunnening.
Ooh, crossover shared cinematic universe with Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Obviously. And then the Jesus horror movie we're going to make, too.
Honestly, a remake of this movie would be better than either of those nun movies. They
I
would
think
have
they
to be.
remade this movie and it was terrible.
Oh,
Did they?
really?
I think they did.
Really?
Oh no,
You
I don't
think?
even want to.
I'll
Why don't you
Cabin,
find
wanna-
out?
I'll check.
Why don't you find out? No, I'm pretty sure they did kind of like
Oh,
no.
you know what? This sounds
recently-ish.
familiar, actually.
you're kinda-
Chris, get on that.
You're knocking something loose here.
because it was in that slew of like we're remaking like When a Stranger Calls and Black Christmas. and-
Right. Yes. And you know what was it? Black Christmas is great, by the way, the original, and the remake I thought was pretty decent.
That's with like Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah,
and
I think so. It's like the aughts, I believe.
Yeah.
The Black Christmas remake is
Yeah.
much more recent. That-
Really?
That was like 2018, maybe.
Oh, come on.
It's
Chris,
pretty
come
recent.
off
it
of
was really recent.
It is. Because it was, I think, wasn't it directed by the woman who did Always Shine?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
You beautiful fools. They've remade it twice.
No way.
2006 is Black Christmas with Trachtenberg, and then Black
okay.
Christmas 2019, which I did not.
That's the one.
Look up who directed the 2019 one.
Let's see here. Sophia Tackle.
Takal,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. She's an interesting director, man. I do want to check that one out.
Yeah, I've been meaning to.
And I think, Eric, that's the one that people say is good, not the Michelle Trachtenberg.
Oh, I kind of like. I didn't.
Oh,
See
you did
I
see
did.
the 2000. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I kind of like the
Oh,
2006
okay.
one.
Oh, I think I got myself a little holiday horror triptych working out
Oh,
here.
Glenn Morgan did the 2006 one. You know him from the X-Files. The One, he was a producer of.
Yeah,
Willard, he was a
okay.
producer of.
So they did remake it in 2012, but it's just called Silent Night.
There wasn't a Silent Night, Deadly Night remake.
I'm not seeing one. Although my favorite fact about this franchise,
Sure.
the third one is directed by Monty Hellman.
Yes.
In-
Is
Incredible.
incredible.
Yeah,
and it's not very good. It's pretty bad.
Those later movies, 3, 4, and 5, have nothing to do with the Billy saga. The second one is the guy who says "Garbage
Yeah.
Day" famously
I-
is the little brother in this movie.
I find the second one more entertaining than this one, but I find this one better overall.
the second movie is one-stop shopping because it's like 60% flashbacks.
Yes.
Which means it's just footage of this movie.
Right.
So when you watch Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, you're kind of watching two movies at the same time.
It's true.
It's mostly this, and then the other half is just the kills at the end, which are great. Most of them are pretty good.
And
Yeah.
you know, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, I think has been memed to death. Everyone knows the
Yes.
garbage day.
Garbage
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
it is kind of worth it. It's kind of worth
It is.
seeing.
It's a nice little line.
Oh yeah, it's great. So anyway, we're having class and it's like everybody's drawing a Christmas picture and it's like, all right, Billy, you're next to put your Christmas picture up on the chalkboard. And it's kind of great because you don't see what it is right away, but this nun just being fucking horrified. And it's like, you and this picture have to go to the Mother Superior's office right now.
I'm sorry. You work at an orphanage, and this is the worst thing you've seen on paper.
Well, I mean, again, I think it's that thing where like you're seeing precious Santa Claus in a situation that it
God.
shouldn't be because the
Uh-huh.
photograph is,
It's
or the
great.
drawing, little colored pencil drawing.
It'll be a
is
photo by the end of the movie.
Santa Claus shot to death or stabbed to death. There's a bunch of
Right.
knives in him. And then what did this fucking animal ever do to you, kid? A decapitated reindeer, which is a bit rough.
All
I
this
love it.
over the treatment of a magical cookie eater. Like, what? What exactly are you getting so offended by?
I agree.
Yeah.
That cookie eating son of a bitch needs to be taken down. a
I
peg.
don't think it's. Here's the thing, fellas. Now, I'm no child psychologist.
Sure.
You're not?
Last time I checked, no. My online degree has not come through
I would
yet.
let you do it.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It would be great.
Just
to be-
experiments.
Yeah.
Just-
No, but I think it's more, not so much that the violence is happening upon Santa Claus. It's that it's just a gory ass photo that it's a
Yeah,
gory ass
right.
drawing that a little kid made.
Right, it, like,
Santa ain't got nothing to do with
If you
it.
drew something like this after Columbine, for instance, you're being called into the picture.
yes,
Yes.
you are. But I'm imagining at this particular orphanage, the nun, like 3 years ago, had like someone with a family, a drawing of all the family with all different family members, and like the mother's face just blacked out,
Yeah.
and like bloody heads over like the father. Like, just
Yeah.
I would
mean,
be like, it's
there
Sammy.
are also normal orphans. I would
No,
like
there
to
are
put
not,
out.
Eric.
I know you've been wrapped up in orphan movies like The Orphan and The Orphan 2.
It is. It's proper. It's propaganda. It's
but
true.
there are plenty great kids out
There are many, and you should adopt if you want to.
from a no-kill shelter.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, from a kill shelter. The no-kill ones, you let them stay there till they get to the mental.
I see.
They all get shipped off the
Yeah.
Utah mental facility.
Let the process play out.
So, he goes to the Mother Superior, and this lady's a fucking piece of shit. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, this Sister Margaret is like, hey, Mother Superior, this kid has like crippling mental problems and really needs to be like delicately handled and professionally evaluated and whatnot. And this lady's just like, I don't think so. Lock him in the
Yeah.
room
Yeah.
indefinitely.
Yeah.
Wall him off.
Like, he doesn't remember the incident, but it's coming out in these drawings. One day it's going to come out in a different, worse way.
Yes.
I don't want to hear it.
Yep. Yeah. Like, again, this lady is the Dr. Loomis of this movie. She's trying to sound the alarm.
Right.
No one is listening.
Yep.
Because who more poorly equipped to handle a mentally and emotionally damaged child like this than some crotchety ass penguin that's hated her fucking existence for the last 40 years.
I wish they had at least like done something like, well, we don't have the budget to get somebody to handle
Yes.
problems like this, but it's just immediately shut them off.
Yes.
Cask of Amontillado him.
Yeah, it's not even, you're right. It's not even like, we'll do whatever we can for
Yeah.
him, but we're severely under-resourced here at this Utah orphanage or whatever. It's none of that. It's just none of that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
don't make that a habit.
yes. No, it's just this like, what's going to fix him, right? Locking him in this room indefinitely, which they
Uh-huh.
do. And it appears as if like days go by. And then finally this Sister Margaret is like, hey, look, Billy, like all your friends are outside making a snowman. You want to go outside? And he's like, oh, Mother Superior said I got to stay in here. And she's like, fuck that old lady. Let's go outside or whatever. And so this is a weird turn of events here because somewhere along the way, I guess like Sister Margaret has to like go ahead of him to go tend to the children or whatever.
Sure.
She leaves this kid to find his way from the bedroom downstairs. And somewhere along the way, he's walking down this hallway. And I hadn't seen this in a while. And I forgot this part. And I'm like, sounds like people are fucking in this orphanage.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going on. I think
Yep.
this is supposed to be like some of the older kids or whatever, which is weird.
I was confused by this. I thought one of them was going to be a nun or something.
Yes, like a priest is getting a little randy with a nun.
And then that would be like, you got to send them to hell tonight.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
like that's like, you took a vow. That's nothing to sneeze
You got to call Poppy over in Rome and see what's going on in that
But
case.
if these were just regular fuckers, which how do they even get there? Who are they? Whatever. Then Mother Superior is maybe a little harsh on them.
Yeah.
A little harsh.
It is just weird though, because like you are to believe that they are residents of this orphanage, and like when you're 18, you're out of the orphanage. So if you're in the orphanage and this is going on.
Oh, I figured it out. They're trying to avoid Vietnam. No, I'm 17 again. No, I'm an orphan.
Honestly, do it. The best way to, you know it.
Yeah. But it's like you see immediately like the fucking trauma that this kid has endured, because like he's peering through the keyhole and he sees these two teens getting down and the woman is topless. And when he sees some nipple, it makes him flash back to that night 3 years ago when the shirt was ripped open. Which
Could
is
you
like,
imagine sex being ruined even more for you? You know,
Well,
I mean,
what's
it's pretty
the
bad already.
What's the base here? I'm missing the base.
yeah, you know what? Good
What's
question.
what's the celery onions on this sucker?
You know, it depends on the person. Chris.
Yes,
I don't want
I
to expose
understand.
myself more than I have.
And you don't want us exposing ourselves. So like he's peering in, and like it is a real like he doesn't understand what's going on. He's looking through the keyhole, and then here comes this Mother Superior fucking belt out. Just what are you doing? What are you looking at? And like she bursts in this room. This dude's like mid thrust or whatever. Oh, I can't believe this. And then like she just starts fucking straight up whipping these teenagers.
Yes. Oh my God. You guys ever get the belt growing up?
I have not.
Oh boy.
A belt? No.
Yes, I've been whipped.
I got a spanking or two.
Oh, that too.
I got an open palmer once.
Oh, yeah?
Got a wooden cooking spoon cracked over my head.
Woo!
Yeah, well, you know, when you live with your grandparents and
I
great-grandparents,
didn't
people
think about
born in the
that. Yeah.
1800s had a different thing about child rearing.
Wooden spoons were just the norm.
Oh,
You had
my
like
God.
some neighborhood friend come over, like, can Eric come out and play? Yes, after another 2 hours in the stocks, and you're just in the backyard.
Pretty much. Not too far from reality.
I'll tell you what, you can play with him if you buy me a new wooden spoon. 'Cause this one,
Oh my God. The wooden spoon day was a good day. The grandmother's chasing me through the house. I ran into my parents' bedroom, which was the one that had like a lock key.
Sure.
Uh-huh.
No one had the key for it because it was such an old door. But I figured out to use a screwdriver on it. So I trapped the old broad in there. I jammed a screwdriver in the door, locked it that way, and held it in there.
This is amazing. I thought you were going to say you hid in there from her. No, you locked her in the room.
Oh, we had our cat and mouse moments back and forth.
and then your mother comes in like William Atherton.
No,
We
no.
have to open and let it out.
No,
we have to.
I think eventually I let her out, and that's when retribution occurred.
No.
I'm sorry, Eric.
Uh-huh.
That sucks.
It's all right. It made me who I am.
It's true.
So this Mother Superior comes out and is like, what did you see them doing in there, Billy? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, what they were doing was very, very naughty. And I'm like, this is where you can't use that word naughty, because it was fucking naughty. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Mother Superior? That was about as naughty as it gets.
But you're triggering something in this boy's head, and all of a sudden she looks like Patty LaPone, and he's about to be thrown in with the penis monster.
Oh God.
And now they didn't even get to finish here, I don't think, right?
Oh no. She interrupted mid coitus, dude.
Man, and I wonder in that situation, would you finish, or would it be too startling?
Oh, I think if you're startled, dude, I mean,
It might be coming with the startle.
Coming with the startled.
Yeah,
That's
that
or
might
you're losing the big E.
right.
Oh yeah, that's also that
What's
problem.
the E?
Erection.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, B boner.
Yeah. No, I lose the big E all the time. Don't worry about it. I just think it's behind the seat cushions or something.
Oh, here it is amongst all this change I found.
Honey, I lost my erection the other day, and
Oh, I don't know. It's not in the cushions, but here's the remote.
Just some pennies. There's no erection in here.
I was
pennies.
looking for that remote.
And so this lady's like, punishment is necessary. So like, this kid's getting whipped for just looking through a fucking keyhole, and I'm just like, no wonder you're gonna fucking turn and kill all these people.
What bad luck! The one Catholic orphanage in all of Utah, right?
The only one,
right?
So he's like laying in his bed or whatever, and you just get a shot of him, like, you know, obviously very upset. Did you guys notice in the room right here? I don't know what this was. I didn't get a chance to look it up. Like maybe it's on eBay or something. A Yogi Bear board game.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, dude. What? It's like get to the finish line to steal the picnic basket first or something.
A lot of great toys and games in this throughout the background, especially once we get to Ira's toy shop.
Hell yeah.
There is a Krull board game or something there.
Is.
And Krull is clear as day.
Yeah. I didn't notice Krull.
Krull is clear as day in the
It's
background.
pretty out there.
And it also made me think of Thanksgiving, this year's release, which also had a Krull poster in the movie.
Where was that now?
I'm
I'm missing all the Krull
the
action.
dirtbag Massachusetts townie that's put on the party for the kids.
Oh,
selling
sure.
booze.
That dude's great.
He's got a Krull poster.
Oh.
Yeah.
hero. That guy's a hero.
He's a total fucking hero. I love that guy. What a fucking total scumbag. It's like, that's a primo, like brilliantly written
Yes.
scumbag character.
That is exactly what we would all be if podcasting didn't catch on.
Yeah, we'd be charging teenagers $20 a pop to drink in our mother's house or
Exactly.
whatever's going on.
Yeah, dude, my mother's in Mexico right now. I could throw a fucking kegger.
Oh wow, dude! Look at that
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
rager at the old Siska house.
I'm coming home early.
Oh no, we have to clean the house fast.
So like, he's like having some nightmares, like reliving the attack, all of that stuff, and like, I noticed right here actually, they show the dad fall out of the car again. Doesn't he look a little bit like Michael Ontkean from Twin Peaks, Sheriff Harry S. Truman?
You know who
Yeah, a little bit.
I see that, but the one I thought of was what's his name from a Body Double, the main character.
Oh, the guy that looks like Bill Maher.
the other Bill Maher guy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
He was in Dream Warriors.
Yes,
Yes, yeah.
Craig.
T. Nelson. S. Solar.
Craig,
No.
you're right. It's
I'm just naming Craig.
It's whoever that dude is. He has a single and a music video attached to it.
You're
maybe like
kidding.
Craig Wassaw or something like
that
that.
sounds
Wasson,
like
maybe.
Wasson,
That
That-
sounds like a name.
But like, look up that fucking song. Once we get the name of the guy, Eric's looking it up right
Craig
now.
Wasson.
Craig Wasson. All right.
10 big points.
Thank you.
Ding. Craig Wasson has it's like some R&B Rick Astley kind of shitty
Ooh.
single. It's fucking great.
Really?
The video's really funny too.
You're never gonna be. I'm sorry, like all you actors turned musicians out there. None of you are beating Don Johnson heartbeat. It's just not happening.
That's a good one.
Get over it. It's fine.
The New York temperature is 26 degrees. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, the video started out with a little something. Let me go into the.
A little bit.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the one.
Yeah. No, I could definitely.
I don't
imagine.
think this song's not good for podcasts.
No, it's not. But you know what? It does sound good for cocaine use, which I assume was the real
Oh,
reasoning behind
yeah.
Oh,
it.
here it is. No, wait. Which song were you playing?
Have me
Have
arrested.
Me, all right, it is Have Me Arrested because he's got some other like Vietnam song called The Boys in Company C. I don't want nothing to do with that.
Oh.
But look up the Craig Wasson Have Me Arrested video. Classic.
Yeah.
The Boys and Company. That's a movie with.
It is.
Joe Don Baker.
Ooh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
now
yeah.
we're talking. So
that
whatever.
show,
The
Don.
kid gets up and he tries to like run out the orphanage because he's having a freak out moment. This fucking Mother Superior dude ties this kid to the bed, and I'm like, lady, you are asking for it.
Oh, he's got enough sexual fucking problems and kinks and stuff.
Yes. This is just
It's like,
adding
okay,
on
I
to it.
can't shoot unless I'm dressed as Santa, stabbing someone and tied to a bed. It's too much.
I mean, it is too much. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of recrossed wires in your head there. So it's Christmas morning, and the orphanage has like a gift for all the kids,
Yeah.
and it's like they're doing this weird thing. I've never heard of this, where it's like we're opening all these presents, and then Santa's coming by later, and we all have to sit on his lap and thank him for the gift. This is some fucking psycho shit
Well, yeah,
right here.
I think you're trying to get into these kids' heads and really fuck with them a little bit here with this one.
Well, because she's like, this Mother Superior is like looking at all these kids, like daring to have a nice Christmas morning, and she's like, "Bah, I see more greed here than I see gratitude."
Okay, William, here is your present, a porno about Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly.
Here you go.
Just to fuck you up a little more, William.
Santa's coming.
Santa's rimming.
Every day you will get 10 minutes with our VCR, and you can watch 10 minutes of your tape that is not going to fuck you up.
You just gotta race to the finish line of that. Yeah.
So this kid like gets a present or whatever. I don't know what's the gift, because he does open it. I don't remember what it was.
Ooh, I forget.
But he, then it's like, all right, Santa's coming. Now everyone has to, I guess go pledge fealty to Santa Claus and thank him for the presents.
It's not. I have a note here that says child torture. That's not what it is. That wasn't the gift.
Yeah, you got a gift card for
child
torture. Yeah,
from Buffalo Wild Wings.
It is torture to eat there, dude. So this Mother Superior like forces this kid to sit on the Santa's lap.
Yes.
Billy has a total freak out here, decks this Santa Claus right in the face, and the guy falls off the chair, which is really funny because, like, I don't know, buddy, you're a grown man. This is like a 10-year-old small child. Like, how is he cold cocking you? Seriously, he's working out. I love that, like, because the Santa Claus falls over and like the kid runs out of the house or the orphanage or whatever, and this guy goes, "Wow, the hell's wrong with that kid?"
He's got a point, but still, you should have been able to take the hit, sir.
That's true.
And then you just like it freeze frames on Billy, like the nun comes in, the Mother Superior comes in. It's like, "Well, yeah, man," like freeze frame, and then boom. 1984.
Yes.
10 years later.
Yeah.
Here we are. This is where shit's getting real interesting.
And we're like 30 minutes into an 84-minute movie. This fucker is moving.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's also interesting because like all of this time so far has just been about the guy who becomes the killer of the movie.
Exactly.
It's really interesting.
It's much more interesting than like, here are all the future victims mulling around and POV shots in the woods of like, ooh, hey, that might be creepy later.
I see. We like it in this movie and we don't like it in Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yes,
you son of a bitch.
Yes. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm not a big fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Because I'll tell you one of the reasons why this is easier for me to stomach.
Sure.
And it just comes down to one word, dude, hellbilly.
Well,
because
this
poor kid in the orphanage, it's a shitty nunnery orphanage raising, real bad.
But it's clearly in the Northeast.
And like this,
no one is a fucking hellbilly.
This is more fleshed out than, I guess, 1978's Halloween. But even that movie was a kid being traumatized young. I mean, you don't.
Yes, who
else? I mean, everyone thought about grabbing a butcher knife and stabbing someone as a kid. That's a kid that did it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I don't bring it up. Is because it's everybody.
You see the repercussions of what that would mean without having. Like the Rob Zombie version has the table dressing of like, what was it? Brad Dourif is the father or something? No, he's
Brad Dourif's the sheriff.
Okay, the father and the mother are just like
William Forsythe.
Yes,
William Forsythe's like, you fucking dumb bitch, blah blah, my sloppy tit shit, fuck.
Oh, here for good measure, here's some fucking gay slurs. Get them in there.
It's just too much.
Sure. I mean, I do like when he says sloppy tits, though. That is a cracker.
So here we go. 10 years later, Sister Margaret's still on the case, still fucking fighting the good fight for this kid. She goes into Ira's toy shop here and is like, asking the manager, Mr. Sims.
This is like if Dr. Loomis was like, Michael needs a job. How about he works at your mechanic shop and puts on one of those jumpsuits?
He needs regular hours, no part-time bullshit. We need consistency.
He's good with his hands, Sheriff.
There's a hard worker coming to your town and he needs employment, Sheriff.
No, he's very strong, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing because you want a stock boy, is what you want.
He'll work weekends, Sheriff. Because this lady's like, listen, I got this boy. He needs a job. You have a posting in the window for a job. And this guy is like, oh, well, sister, it's a stockroom job. It's a lot of heavy lifting. It's not really something a boy can handle. And she's like, oh, I'm calling him the boy because he's still at my orphanage, but he is indeed 20 years old. Why don't you say hello to him? And they do this like camera slow tilt up. Like, look at this hunky stud.
Big and strong. That boy's big and strong. William can lift.
And then Ira, of course, says, you know what? I don't like the look on his face. That's a no from me, lady. I'm sorry. And she says,
All right, he's hired. Just don't cry about it.
Stop creepily screaming.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Could you just stop? Could you stop doing that, please?
Yeah, so he's instantly hired, and you get to see him moving boxes and
Dude,
stuff.
this montage, by the
Yes.
way, dude, what is this fucking Christmas song?
I don't know.
The warm side of the door.
Warm side of the door.
Oh
Like,
my God.
This was so written by a divorced man. Like, you can just smell it. Like the warm side of the door. That's the best he can imagine is getting inside the door.
Oh, I bet my ex-wife's house it's pretty warm on the inside. So cold here on the outside.
Dude, and that's one of the like rejoinders or whatever is, it's always Christmas on the warm side of the door. You're just like, what is this Christmas song?
You should get one of those really salty turkeys from KFC for the holidays, and I just miss that salty turkey so much.
Oh my God, I could smell her pepperoni and mozzarella garbage bread on the warm side of the door.
Oh, iceberg lettuce, where are you?
Oh my God. You know, I bet on the warm side of that door, she's putting up all sorts of shrimp cocktail.
She probably bought a 12er of Bud Light.
Oh, yep. Oh, this song is just terrible. And it's like he's stocking stuff. You see him kind of being sweet with the store girl here.
Thank you. Like, we got this strong tradition of montage from Sergei Eisenstein.
Yeah, Eisenstein.
Direct line to Silent Night,
Yes, it
Deadly
just
Night.
matches.
Of course.
You just see it. In your brain,
Come
it makes
on.
sense.
Gene and Raj, you didn't see the magistry in this movie?
There's a great moment in the montage where Billy's like walking by a display and he notices like one little box is kind of just like out of place a little bit. And he just kind of moves it just the teeniest bit to make it just right. They cut to this Mr. Sims guy, who is the funniest actor in the movie.
Yeah.
And this Mr. Sims doing like this nod of approval, like, excellent notice right there, William.
That's hell of a moving right there, son. Just incredible movement.
Way to push that box an inch to the left, son.
So proud.
Did you see, though, in this stocking montage, this was the toy I noticed, dude.
Oh.
Right behind this guy, big display for like Jabba the Hutt action
Yes,
figures.
I did see
I did
that.
not see
This looked
one.
pretty cool.
Dude, I was fucking jealous.
I was trying to tell like what it was. I was like, is it like a playset thing? Is it just a Jabba figurine? I think?
believe it said playset. Yeah, it's got the whole
That's-
dais.
Fucking okay. The Ira, Britt Leach, this
Mr. Sims.
Mr. Sims. He is the
He was the man.
supermarket manager who kicked Steve Martin out of the supermarket and Father,
Father
of the Bride. Yes.
Oh, and he has the
nice.
bun
Yep.
freak out.
Yes.
Oh.
He's also murdered in that.
Yes.
Steve
Off
Martin
screen.
returns
With a
dressed as
hammer.
Santa
Yeah.
Claus. And
All
kills
of a
him.
sudden, the footage changes on that too.
That would be so delightful.
It's like crystal clear. Steve
Yeah.
Martin is arguing with the guy in the store, and then it cuts to like grainy, scratched up footage, and it's Steve Martin cutting this guy's head off in the deli department. Wow, the
yeah.
Father of the Bride extended cut is really violent.
You know, I'm gonna have to up that number. That's a 3.5 right there.
This winter, Father of the Bride.
Hell yeah, dude.
Wouldn't that be great?
Terrifying movie.
Killer of the Bride.
Ooh, yep, there it is. So yeah, it's always Christmas on the wrong side of the door. And you see here too, like now Mr. Sims is getting the store decorated for Christmas, and they unveil this big like Merry Christmas banner, and there's a picture of Santa right in the middle of it, and you see this dude just kind of like, Harumpo, Santa Claus, great, I'll never escape my nemesis.
I mean, the nun had to at least know about this, right? At some point it had to come up.
She had to jump. She should have jumped in and got him out of Christmas, you know?
I mean, that's at the very least, like, I know you don't have the money for, actually bringing a professional into the orphanage to take care of a situation like this. Think of it like dog training. whenever he sees a Santa and he starts getting worried, like give him a treat.
That's
just
all.
real
There
quick.
you
Just
go.
That's
a
all.
quick treat.
Children and dogs, exact same fucking shit.
Yes,
You
exactly.
train them
I've
the
said this
exact
for
same way.
years, Eric.
You
They
know?
both respond very well
Exactly.
to food.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
you take your kid on a leash, you have him shit outside.
Nice and easy.
It's exactly the same.
Safe spot. You put the paper in a nice safe spot for them to wipe, but you got to keep it outside.
Yes, exactly. If you're leaving for a while, you don't need a sitter. Just put down some newspapers.
Good
But
leash.
no, but for real, they are. It's still a mammal that has a brain, I guess.
Yes.
And you can
Absolutely.
you train people like you would train an animal.
Yes,
for sure.
it's not hard at
Also,
all.
She should have just been like, hey, Billy or whatever the fuck his name is.
It's Billy.
Billy,
Yeah.
or Billy, what his name is, should
Yeah.
they should take vacation days. Like, oh, he needs to help out around the orphanage around Christmas.
Oh,
Get him out of there.
Yep.
Get him out of there. Also, red flag on this fucking Iris toys. And I hate when people do this. You can do it a little bit, but doing it on every window and door, painting every window and door.
Oh, so you can't even see inside the store if you're doing window
Right.
shopping.
And I guess that's maybe because we're filming at night or
Well,
whatever.
also, it's
but
helpful
Yeah.
if you want to murder everyone inside and nobody sees the bodies.
That is actually a good point, Chris.
if that is what you're thinking.
I'm going home and painting my windows tonight.
Just in case. You never know.
So like some dude playing Santa shows up to do some, kids sitting on Santa's lap stuff for the store. This guy has a total freak out and falls over a bunch of boxes. And you can see this Mr. Sims being like, uh-oh, here's the crack in the foundation. Crazy guy's finally going crazy. And he's like, oh, Billy, are you all right? This dude stands up. It's so comical. He stands up, sort of dusts himself off, and he's like, well, I've never felt better in my entire life.
The nun told me to do this. Here's a famous Amos cookie.
All right,
Yeah,
back to stocking I
Yes,
go.
and you're a very good boy.
Oh,
Very
good stock boy. What a good stock
Very
boy.
good. Billy.
And I don't understand the economics of this toy store because we're also introduced to Andy around this point.
Oh, Andy, the stockroom guy,
Which is
big
like-
scumbag,
Another stockroom guy. Why?
who's like seen at during this montage. All he's doing is sitting in the stockroom at the desk, drinking like whiskey out of
and
the
then,
bottle.
like, talking shit to Billy, like when you came here, you were an all right kid. Now you got a fucking attitude.
And he's doing stuff like, oh, you don't do anything around here, blah, blah, blah. I have to do everything. Meanwhile, it's Billy with like the, clipboard, like taking stock of something, and like doing actual work while this guy's saying he does nothing.
That's the thing is the guy has to be drunk all the time to make any sense of. He's like, because later he's like, oh, you've been slacking off.
Yes. Yeah.
You've been doing. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? What are you gonna point to? Like the footage that's gonna show I did my work?
Because this is like, this is one of those pieces of shit
Yeah.
that you'd encounter. We encountered this
Oh, of course.
working in retail where it's like the person who's been there longer and they've got maybe a little like senioritis and they're fucking off. And then you're like
Right.
doing the job because you're new to the place and you want to do a good job and you haven't become jaded by the institution yet or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then that person calls you out as if you're not doing good, but like you are. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I
These
think
people are fucking repulsive.
You should be entitled to strangle them with Christmas lights all the fuck you want.
Honestly, that was. I mean, when he goes overboard, but if he had just done that,
If he
I might have
just-
been okay with
If
him.
he just killed Andy,
That's
Yes.
maybe okay.
you're all right. You're
Yeah.
fine. You're a young boy. You're from the orphanage.
Right. So we got this coworker Pamela here, this pretty girl who's like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Billy. Like, I'll pick up the boxes you knocked over." And he's like, "Oh, will you?" And we cut to this like sex fantasy that this guy's having. And I got to tell you,
It's good.
props to this guy playing Billy because both of these actors are completely nude
Yeah.
in this bed, and like the way the shot starts, it's like, from the feet kind of working our way up the body here. And they're both of the actors are doing like our legs
Writhing.
are positioned in a certain way so you can't see genitalia, but this
Damn.
guy's got one knee kind of up too high, and like
Oh.
the camera goes right up this dude's asshole. Like you can see this dude's like ass crack hair. Like
Mhm.
you're really getting to look up the tunnel of love right
Yeah.
here.
Well
This guy.
coiffed
Chimney.
too. That ass hair, very nice looking.
Nice
Fluffy.
blonde looking ass hair,
Yeah.
It's a
It's
real like
gorgeous.
maybe you should think about shaving because you look like
Too-
the bottom half of your body looks like a bear.
Oh, too much ass hair.
Well,
Okay.
that's. I mean, look, you gotta key into the animalistic nature of sex. So you don't shave, you
true.
don't use anything to
Right.
make it smell better.
Yeah.
You just let it go.
So like these sex fantasies interrupted because in the dream, here comes a Santa Claus, and he starts attacking them or whatever. And Billy's just screaming like, I just wanted to be good. I just wanted to be good.
Yeah, because sex, that's a triggering event for him, and it's going to bring about this murderous Santa idea.
Speaking of, so here's what happens. It's the last day. It's Christmas Eve. Mr. fucking Sims is so excited for the staff party that night. He can't wait for the Christmas season to be behind him. And this is where it's trouble, because the Santa that they've hired from the agency has broken his ankle and cannot come to be Santa for the last day. And it's like, who among us is big enough to make this work? Oh, Billy, would you like to be Santa Claus? And like at this point, this is why the nun needed some additional paperwork with the application that was like, and by the way, definitely don't put Santa stuff around him, but definitely don't dress him like Santa Claus at
and
all
also,
costs.
Fuck you, Mr. Sims. You be Santa. You're the manager. You don't want to work today anyway.
Yep.
You just want to get shit-faced later. You're heavier than Billy. You belong.
You get to sit the whole day.
Yes.
You're Santa, not Billy. Poor Billy.
You look like you're from it's very clear. You're in an economically depressed area.
Yep.
Go out, get Petey's to stop playing funsies with the third rail, and get him in a fucking Santa Claus costume.
So you're saying go out, find yourself like a Buck Flower-esque town hobo.
Please.
Derelict. Yeah.
Yes, play Santa instead.
And because you're in a town like this, you're more close together. You're more tightly knit. You know your hobos.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can trust them to do these
You can
little things.
offer him a free shower.
Exactly. You get him a meal. This is easy
Because
stuff.
you're going to want to spray him down before you have a kid in that lab.
And I'll tell you something about Buck Flower. He is not freaking out when he thinks about Santa Claus plowing some white.
no,
He's not freaking out at all. He's
Guaranteed he has fucked a woman dressed
very
well dressed
comfortable
as
with the idea.
He was dressed as Santa. She was dressed as Santa. That had to have happened.
Whoa,
at least once. Yeah.
Santa on Santa cosplay, dude.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Now, is there anything like that on the internet? Maybe I could
there
watch?
has to be.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be.
There's a Girls Gone Wild Santa Con that you should
Okay,
see.
all right.
And that would really turn your hair white, I think.
Man, Santa Con, by the way, just when I've forgotten that exists,
Oh, yeah, baby.
it just comes right
Isn't
back.
Isn't it happening soon?
It's happening
course.
December 9th in New York
9th, I
City.
see.
And yes, it's going to be terrible. But honestly, any weekend day in fair New York City is kind of a Santa Con, but with different people participating. Today,
alcoholics.
Today you have the shit-eating families going.
I see.
They're on the trains having fun. Everyone's screaming. We're gonna go see the fucking tree at Rockefeller. We're gonna see the fucking tree. You're gonna know about it, even though you're trying to mind your own business.
Well, that's been happening for many, many years.
I hate it.
Dressing up as Santa so that you can blind drunk because the fucking city is 1/8 bars.
Yes.
Like
That's true.
that is something very new. But again, we need the economy. So yeah, go ahead, dress up as your Santas. Get blind drunk. Vomit your KFC all over the fucking MTA.
I mean, they were almost like banished from the city, and like they were forced to put in like regulations and stuff. Because there was one year where it was a total fucking fiasco.
Right, they were like fighting in the streets.
fighting in the street, vomiting on people, like just really bad.
it's like the end of the Joker.
Yes, the whole fucking city goes mad. And
Well,
like,
think about those kids when they grow up after seeing a drunk vomiting Santa on the street.
Oh, yeah.
man.
Every time they drink or vomit, they're gonna have flashbacks, and it's gonna ruin their lives.
It's gonna be Christmas.
and whatever the real sloppy year was too, I think it was also there was a bad snowstorm and like
Right.
it was just total chaos. And by the way, you fucking said it's on the 9th, and I'm just realizing I have dinner reservations downtown. And
Cancel.
this is a huge
Cancel.
No, they're really hard to get. I'm not doing it.
Shit, dude! I get a hotel room down there.
Yeah, I
You're
would.
That's the thing is people don't really understand. Like if you're not from New York City, you don't realize that it's like the Warriors that day.
Yeah.
It
When
is.
you're just trying to get home,
Yeah.
trying to get back to Coney or something.
Yep.
And there's Santas attacking you throughout the entire
It
area.
is the closest we come to living the plot of the Warriors. If you are out and it's like, wait, what is what? Wait. And you're like, you're downtown, right? And you look
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, there's a guy dressed as Santa. Interesting. And then you look across the street, the other side of the intersection. It's like, oh, 2 other people there are dressed as Santa. Oh, that's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's some more. And then you get on the phone and you're like, SantaCon year that this is in,
Yes.
and it's 2 days date. And it's like, Get to the train. We gotta get uptown.
This would be a great remake of this movie. You set it in New York
Absolutely.
City during
Yeah.
Santa
100%. Do it.
It's sort of like Scream 6 vibes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Go
Fuck
ahead.
yeah.
Go right ahead and do that.
So this dude doing the Santa's lap thing, it's immediately not going well. This little girl's totally terrified, and he's just like, he's not shaking her, but I like to believe he's definitely like gripping her tightly, and is just like, stop it. Just stop it. Behave. Just stop it.
You know
Yes.
that knee is just going. It's just like,
Oh, yeah.
Stop
Stop it, or I'll have to punish you.
This exactly. If I had a child, I think this is what I'd be doing every day. Is just like grabbing them, and being like, "Stop it, stop it,
In a
stop it."
Santa Claus costume or just
Well,
your normal
Chris,
attire?
That's
Yeah.
how I walk around the house every day.
I see.
You should
Okay.
know that by now.
I should have remembered.
I do love the gag of these two moms like standing far away, and they're like totally impressed by what's going on because they can't hear him. They just know that like the girl isn't fiddling or screaming or whatever.
Mm.
And the one mom is just like, oh my God, he's just so good. He knows how to handle children. Look at him.
She's so calm.
Yeah, it's funny.
Look, I see all the hope draining from her eyes. That's a beautiful
But
thing.
it's like, here's the thing is even if you can't hear what he's saying, he's not being a boisterous. There's not a single boisterous.
No.
It is just, I'm whispering to your child
Yeah.
and it's fucking creepy and no one has a problem with it.
yeah, Sims is okay though. He's doing just fine.
Oh yeah, because guess what? The clock ticks. Boom! It's 7 o'clock. Time to get shit faced.
Yeah,
oh
baby.
yeah. Only quick plot thing here is that the phone rings in the stock room. It's Sister Margaret looking for Billy, and that dude Andy's like, "Oh, he's actually playing Santa Claus right now." And she's like,
what?
"Oh," but it's like if they cut back to that woman, the fucking Kill Bill fucking alarm
Yeah.
went off, and the whole frame turned red. Because she's like, "Oh, fuck today."
oh wait. Oh fuck. And she just like looks around her thing. Oh, I didn't give him the letter.
Yeah.
I meant to get Mr. Sims this letter about poor Billy.
Uh-oh, too late. And so I do love this shot. It's Mr. Sims fucking slams that door closed, locks it, and he's like, "It's 7 o'clock. Let's get shit-faced."
That's right, Mr. Sims.
And it is the like one of the best / like kind of saddest things you can see in any kind of Christmas set movie. The staff holiday party of under 6 people. Oh, and you know
It's rough.
there's way too much booze,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we got to drink it all. Well, we're not going to bring it home with us.
That's a good point.
Have you ever like if you go like Andrew when we go home like
Yeah.
I'll go to like one of the like outdoor strip malls that we have, the little ones like
That's our entire town is
Newton
that,
Plaza,
basically. Yeah.
such as and you will see if you if you're like out around that time for the week before Christmas, you will go like you'll be passing like even a real estate office and you will see things like
Oh, sure.
this.
Oh, yeah.
And like I'm like, it's if you are, you know, a human, it's probably great because like if you're close to someone, you can like actually it's just you guys. You can just
Right.
hang out.
yeah.
But like I think because it's just me, I'm like I would just be so alienated and just be like I need to get out of here.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'll get either that or I have to get blind drunk. Like
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
either or.
Yep. One or the other. Super uncomfortable.
Mhm.
Especially, too, if you don't like the people you work with.
Oh,
Yeah,
But it's
Who
such a small
does?
staff that you're like kind of obligated to attend.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because if you didn't, you'd cut
It'd
the
be
guest list.
weird.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, a quarter of the guest list would be cut
It's
out.
also other people are much more amenable than we are.
That's
Eric.
also true.
Is that
Generally
true?
speaking, yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
friendlier,
Sure?
better in
Yeah,
crowds,
yeah.
Really?
Outgoing.
capable of conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's not us.
No, but I'm always envious of those people.
They got it
I
made.
know. I guess we need a lobotomy or
It's like
something.
watching a magician, man. I'm like, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking, Eric, I think the lobotomy is going to make
Uh-huh,
you even
uh-huh.
less talkative.
You
I think that's
really?
even going to bump it down a bit.
I think the problem is I'm too like I'm too in my own head. I'm too
Oh, yeah.
self-aware or something. So I need that part cut out.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I'll be on December 9th, I'd be downtown fucking shitting my brains out, vomiting up fucking, booze and
Yelling at a McDonald's employee.
yeah.
All the fun stuff.
You know what it's more like? Well, not more like than the Warriors, but in addition to the Warriors, you know the vibe the city also has on fucking SantaCon as you start to see the day waning? The Purge.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's like we are all rushing to get home and lock our apartment doors before the real SantaCon craziness happens.
I would rather have been in any war ever than be a woman out and about on Santa Con. I would rather fucking throw me in Vietnam. I prefer it.
Now, this is also another good idea for a Purge sequel set around SantaCon.
Yeah.
And you have like maybe an older house, maybe in Brooklyn or something that actually has a fireplace. And now there's Santa's trying to come down there to kill you and your family.
Sure.
Yeah, dude.
A quick fix of that, dude. You just light a fire.
There you go.
Like they moved the Purge to Christmas one year.
Yeah,
you know?
The holiday purge, dude.
They had a new one, right? We need 2 purges a year.
Yeah, that's
Numbers are down from last year. You need to get something. You got to give a gimmick. Got to figure something out.
you know what? Like, we're giving this shit away for free. I'm going to keep my eye on those movie listings because a lawsuit will be coming if we are not contacted for holiday purge. You fucking better believe it.
For the holiday,
let us come. Just bring us in. Give us a few sandwiches. Let's punch up a script. Be nice to us.
Exactly.
That's all it takes.
We'd be great puncher-uppers.
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
Because you'd be able to be like, that's stupid. That's going to be embarrassing when you put it to film. Don't do that. Oh, exactly. I do love the preparation for this party. Did you see this dude, Andy? He's got this really old school, the yellow bag of Doritos.
Oh, yeah. You love those.
Man, it was
Vintage.
like looking through time.
We're very old.
Brought back some memories right there, man.
For a minute there, I was like, are those Doritos? Like, I kind of was like, wait, they like shifted on me. I was like, wait, no.
Yeah.
Yes, it is it. That's
it's
it.
the same yellow as like the Jack's pretzel bag.
Funyuns a little bit. That temper too.
I love this one line. So Mr. What's his face here? Sims. Yes, he's so excited, and he's talking about how wasted everybody's gonna get. He's like, Billy, by the time this party's over, you're gonna think you are Santa. And I'm like, baby, you have no idea, Mr. Sims.
Mr. Sims, it's only been 30 minutes. Yeah, I took some pills too.
He gets trashed immediately and
instantly wasted.
Pretty good drunk acting.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny. There's a crazy thing here where so they got like some radio playing. I don't know if it's like the store radio or whatever, but it's like Christmas music for the party. And then like Mr. Sims and this old lady who's in Halloween 4, by the way.
Really?
She plays this like old lady who's like, Mr. Sims at the party.
Right.
She plays at the beginning of Halloween 4, where it's like Michael has been in this institution or this hospital, has been comatose since the explosion from part 2. And she's working as like a nurse or whatever in that facility when he like wakes up. I believe she gets murdered by him. She's one of the first kills in the movie.
She deserves
She's dancing here to Fingering My Girl on Christmas Eve.
Yep. But they start singing,
song.
they start singing We Wish You a Merry Christmas over the loud radio Christmas song.
No.
And so it's like the actors trying to out-sing the already kind of too loud music. Very obnoxious.
Yeah.
That gives me a thought. Now, mistletoe, that's a holiday tradition.
It is indeed.
Did that start out as a
Thing that perverts invented? Probably.
Yeah. Well, that
I get to kiss you.
question answer. No, but I'm just thinking a toe. And, you think about these tropes in the 80s and 70s of putting your leg under the table to start feeling their
foot play.
giblets.
The foot play, yeah.
That's kind of a mistletoe. Like, whoa, that toe went somewhere.
Oh, well, yeah, a missing toe. Okay, yeah, I
heat
see that.
Seeker, Chris.
Yeah,
Heat
I can
seeker.
see that. Yeah.
So man, it is a real fucking douche show with this Mr. Sims though, because he's like, oh, what are you doing, Billy? And he's like, I'm thinking about my parents. And he's like, oh, that's good. A boy should think about his parents on Christmas. To which this dude responds, they're dead. This dude just goes, oh, I forgot.
It's shy. Yeah, man, but it's good to remember them, right? It's good to keep him in your memory. Man, excuse me, I'm sorry. I have to piss on your leg right now. I can't make it to the bathroom.
Because that's the level of wasted people are getting at these holiday parties, by the way.
Pretty bad.
Because here's the thing, you can so overshoot it, right? Because your goal, right, is like, oh, have some cocktails, get a little loose, maybe do like a holiday hookup in the back room or whatever.
Yeah,
And
American
that's the
dream.
goal. But then like you biff the holiday hookup part, but then you keep drinking and you totally overshoot it. And now you're just pissing down your own leg.
Yeah.
With coworkers that you have to see once again after the holiday
Every
break.
year it happens. You're
that's-
going to embarrass yourself at a holiday party.
That right there, isn't that the American experience right there? You're
It
told
is.
your entire life you are going to fuck one of your coworkers at your Halloween party while you are a little buzzed. and it never happens.
No. And then
And
you're like,
everybody-
maybe it'll happen at the Christmas party, and it never
And then you
happens.
just keep on getting drunk and ruin your life.
Yes,
exactly.
And that's sort of almost what happens here. Well, if Andy had the opportunity,
Oh.
perhaps he would, because he tells, was it Pamela?
Pamela, yeah.
They're like,
yeah.
oh, I got a present for you. Oh, it's in the back room. It's not a present for everyone.
Oh man, yeah. This guy Andy, by the way, what was I saying? He looks like he's a cross between like what is
A
it?
Keebler elf.
The unknown Pesci brother.
Dude,
Yeah.
yes, it's I wrote Joe Pesci. It's Joe Pesci mixed with Harvey Keitel with just a splattering of Joe Piscopo on top of it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a bad mix.
Yeah.
That's what this guy Andy looks like almost exactly.
Well, that's your the topping is your problem there. The Piscopo is where you really
yeah.
head off the cliff right there. It's
Yes.
like topping sushi with sugar.
This
That
guy's got a
sounds
great
disgusting.
name too. The actor's name is Randy Stumpf.
Oh, is he from anything we would know?
I don't think so.
Randy
Oh,
Something that
the-
you know, probably.
The music documentary Stumpf Comes Alive. I don't. I
I'm
think.
pulling up his page.
I think it's one of those like he's known for Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Not to make this even worse, but like, the other thing that I remembered Mr. Sims from, he's the guy who gets electrocuted in The Great Outdoors. The guy who keeps on getting struck by lightning.
Oh
okay.
shit! Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, Randy Stumpf. This was his last movie, which is shocking.
What?
Yeah, he was.
I don't know about shocking.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. He was in a couple TV. He was TV minor roles, stage manager in one episode of The Jeffersons.
No.
One
jeez.
episode of Bosom Buddies as Punk #1.
Sure.
Ooh, well, at least he was the first one.
One episode
Yeah.
of Happy Days as Spider.
Not bad.
So yeah, he's got one episode of MASH. He's probably still eating off of that. Yeah, so just a smattering of little TV stuff. Did this movie, was probably shamed by those
The Pearl Clutchers.
yeah, those religious
Maybe it
freaks,
killed his career.
Siskel and Ebert.
I said it before, man. Raj was a hardcore Catholic boy. He absolutely
Yes.
was.
But didn't he love bosoms and things like
He
that?
did.
Yeah.
He did, like many of us Catholic boys.
Yeah, he's a Protestant at heart. That's really what the difference is. You really just want to listen to yourself.
So Billy hears some noises coming from the back room, and he slowly goes to investigate. Walks by another real great product placement here for the board game Mousetrap.
Nice.
I didn't see this.
The game that took 25 minutes to set up and way too long to actually play.
So
and
long.
Never worked
never
right.
Played it. Never played
It was
it.
garbage, dude.
Yeah.
It was like it looked so cool because they really did cut a good commercial for it.
Oh yeah,
It
I
made it
remember
look
that.
really thrilling. All the traps doing stuff.
That's right up there with what was that, like Don't Wake Daddy?
Don't Wake Daddy was a fucked up commercial. Yeah,
Oh, my
I don't
God.
remember Don't Wake. I'd never played Don't Wake Daddy,
sure.
but I met one of my best friends, our friend Victor. I met him playing Mousetrap at a summer camp.
Oh wow!
Really? There was
Yeah.
a free spot, and you sat down, and you were like riverboat gambling basically with Mousetrap. It's like room for one more. Like but you gotta put in.
The
You
buy-in was $500 for that round of mouse.
Let me ask you something, Dad. Did your parents give you any quarters for the day?
What do you have in the way of lunch money you'd like to
You know
pony up to the table?
How about we play for slush puppies?
Ooh,
See, like,
yeah.
that'd be a sketch, right? A riverboat gambler at the lunch table for some reason, being like, put your yogurt on the table. All right, boy, let's see what you got. Show your cards.
Oh, nobody wants a banana. I ain't gonna vote. I'm not gonna gamble with bananas.
There's a weird thing, and I don't know what Mr. Sims thinks he's doing with this toy store, but like in the back, right before Billy walks into the stock room, do you notice the section he walks by? It's all like, cheap as fuck, obviously, but it's all like really garbage Halloween costumes and like
Sure.
monster makeup and
Yeah.
shit. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Save it for next year. That's what you're doing.
Well, that's what it's like. Oh, I'll take it down. I'll take it down. Oh, Thanksgiving happened. Oh, no, mother, no, I'll take it down before Christmas.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right, before St. Patrick's Day, I'll take down the Halloween costumes. And then, yeah, you're right. Next thing you know, it's like late September, people are buying Halloween costumes again.
That's right.
Lazy piece of shit.
Lazy people. Well, you keep them up because
I'm preparing for next October.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
getting ahead on it.
you
Yeah.
leave them up because Christmas Eve is the scariest night of them all.
I guess that's true. Old man Peabody more information
he
than we
knew, he
did.
knew.
Well, it's not like you're at a Best Buy in the age of fucking getting clobbered for a video game.
Oh,
machine.
sure. So, yeah, this girl Pamela is not into it. She's saying no repeatedly. Let's go back out to the party repeatedly. This asshole's not listening here, and he starts getting handsy. And again, it's another shirt rip. And this shirt rip, Andy spies the shirt rip, and he just has a complete and total mental break from reality right here. And he fucking lifts this dude up. This is some crazy shit. Puts Christmas light string around this dude's neck and then lifts him up like he's Jason Voorhees.
Naughty.
And naughty. And just hangs him until dead
I love it.
with one arm and drops this guy. And then he turns to Pamela expecting the hero's welcome.
Obviously,
the hero's thank
saved
you.
her.
Oh,
And she's just like, you sick fuck. Why did you do it? You know.
and then
Then it's like, I gotta kill her now.
you can just imagine the nun on the phone being like, "Oh Jesus, you dressed him as Santa Claus?
Yep.
That's bad enough. It's what? What? There's a motherly young woman who's kind of flirting with him too. Oh no, you got it. Fire him. I'm sorry. I know I asked you to hire him. Fire him.
The
right now.
orphanage's VW wagon that I'm trying to drive to the toy store can only go so fast.
belching black smoke out the back.
So this dude is immediately like, punishment must be given, Pamela.
Yeah.
And she's like screaming. And this dude just slices and dices with this box cutter from the stock room. And this poor girl's murdered horribly.
Oh, well.
Well, look, but hey, a nice young lady, a nice young child gets this as a present. That's, you know what?
Soon enough,
he's
yeah.
thoughtful. He's a thoughtful boy.
This is when you're watching the rentable transfer of this is one of the like all-timers as far as we're cutting to unrestored footage right here.
I'm almost part of me wants to rewatch the movie because I'm like, how would this even work without this stuff? Like, it seems like it would just kind of be not as good.
Well, there's actually even one moment later in the movie where like you're seeing some beat up footage that actually did seem pretty crucial because when it ends, the actor is in like a completely different location. And I'm like, Jesus, like without that footage, how did you even understand what was happening at that moment?
I mean, maybe it's just like the canon editing school, which just make it short. It doesn't matter.
Dude, and then finally, this Mr. Sims guy, boy, is it funny. He comes in like, yo, oh, and like, here comes Billy, just fucking hits this dude with a hammer and murders him.
So good.
Oh, man, it's brutal.
You get really good blood spurt on that one. I was really happy with that.
And then now I'm finally at the point where I'm crossing fingers for characters to get killed because this Mrs. Randall here, I think the lady, she's just because she's drunk, she's horny for Mr. Sims as all get out, and she's like, Mr. Sims, I say Mr. Sims, just like repeatedly and loudly, and the movie's like getting my blood worked up. I'm like, kill this woman. Please kill this lady.
Or have sex with her, Sims. It's one of two choices here. Either bone or get rid of her.
But this lady also looks like Mark McKinney playing an old lady on Kids in the Hall, which is very funny.
A little bit.
But yeah, so she like tries to run, like he comes out, he like biffs killing her right here, and she like almost gets away. He's chasing her around with an axe or whatever.
She does the best. She seems to be really making him struggle.
But because Mr. Sims was like, I don't know, like it's going to be such a rager here, we got to lock the door to the toy store. She can't get out. And Billy's like, oh, good, I'm in the outdoors section of the store. Here's a bow and arrow out of nowhere.
Jesus.
This lady gets it right through the back.
I love this, but it's like, what was that doing in a toy store?
Seriously. And it wasn't like, okay, you want to have like a little bow and arrow set with like suction cup arrows?
Sure,
fine.
Yeah.
This is a full on, you could fucking take an elk down with this arrow.
It's Utah. You could probably buy a shotgun there.
Oh,
as well.
Mr. Sims, you want to turn this into a hunting store / toy store? Why, that's just what a Walmart would do.
And it's pretty great because Billy kills her and like walks off into the night down the street. And they do a nice, we're just taking quick shots of all the dead people in this toy store. No real audio or anything. Just a real eerie. It's effective. It's a job well done here. This Sister Maggie shows up like way too late.
Oh,
Yes.
shoot.
Walks
Oh,
in
boy.
like, oh, yep. Oh, yep. The corpse is here. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew this was coming.
You know what? You're all getting into heaven. You know, I'm personally vouching here. You all get the.
Yeah.
I know the man. I'm very close to him.
Just start spritzing them with holy water.
Yeah, you're
There you
fine.
go.
You're
Just a
done.
couple of blessings over the top of them there.
Mhm.
It is kind of funny. She lets out this huge scream, and they just cut to this terrifying shot of nutcrackers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty
Eeriest
cool.
of
Yeah.
all the Christmas
Well,
decorations. the
definitely,
nutcrackers.
Because
yeah.
that is what's happening to Billy right now. His nuts are getting cracked from all this Santa stuff. It's really it's cracking his nuts and it's making him go nuts.
So then we cut to. It's kind of weird because it's like the movie's been going on, and like it sort of feels like because we've had those two other segments of like bad traumatic shit happening to this guy as a kid, and then this is the third movement of the movie, and it kind of feels like in a way that could have serviced as the finale if this was like a kind of a shorter little like short film segment kind of a thing.
You know what? Because I did kind of get the feeling this just for me, this movie is missing just a little bit of something extra. And the thing I think I kept on thinking was like, if this had just been like an Alfred Hitchcock Presents kind of thing
Yeah.
at like a good 55 minutes, it would have been like one of the best they ever did.
Oh yeah. Or if you trimmed a little bit of it and it could be like a segment in a like Christmas anthology horror
Sure.
film.
Yeah.
That could have worked. But the movie goes on, and because we need to like have some more victims, it just cuts to this rando couple getting ready to fuck on a pool table.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's just we ran out of people to kill. We're gonna find a new house to do it in.
Yeah, and it's like they're like getting ready to fuck. You know, we got shirts off. We're in various stages of dress here, and this guy, this guy is just like, "Hey, baby, you mind if I turn on some music? Those Christmas carolers outside are just making my wood fucking go right down, man."
He
I understand.
He also says that he was gonna put his like 2-ball corner pocket.
Oh, yep, that's kind of a
Mhm.
So
pretty.
I'm just asking, do you mind if I actually put my testicles into
I'm putting my fucking testicles into your vagina.
Hey, baby, I don't know if it'll do anything for you, but it'll really turn me on if you let me teabag this pool table.
God.
That's
Oh,
the joke
boy.
that he's
Yeah,
making.
yeah.
So she's like, "Oh yeah, these Christmas carolers aren't really fucking getting me going either." And he definitely puts on some sort of fake "We Might Be Fucking" on
This
Christmas
is
song.
a terrible song, right? Because it's just like the Christmas blues.
Yeah,
Something
no,
like
thank
that.
you.
But it's like it is that like ba-boom, ba-boom, get your dick out, Santa, ba-doop, ba-doop, dear, you know.
Santa's coming with a sack. She's only got one testicle.
The little girl's just like, what are you listening to? I don't care what you're doing on the pool table.
The
What
fact
the fuck
that
is
there's
this?
a little girl in this house that you don't know it's there until after the kills are done is crazy.
Well,
Well,
no,
no, they're,
she comes
they're
out.
yelling because she comes
Oh, they are,
downstairs. Because that's. But
I was
it's funny.
drunk. I was drunk. I was Mr.
Oh,
Sims.
well, you know,
I was
as
Mr.
was the
Sims,
style at the
dude.
time.
Yes.
But
Good for
no,
you.
it's kind of funny because like you're right in a way though, because like it's, by the way, the woman is of course Scream Queen legend Lanna Quigley, and so she and the guy are downstairs and there's a basement, it's a pool table, blah blah blah, and because I think what happens is he says something about putting the music on, and she's like, "Not too loud, we don't want to wake whatever."
Yeah.
And then as they're like getting ready to get it on, she comes to the top of the stairs, like, "Oh, hey, I can't sleep." And they're like, "Stay up there. Stay. That's it. No, don't come down those stairs. Don't you come down those goddamn stairs."
Santa will kill you. Santa will kill you if you come down those stairs. Just he hates you.
There is a great line here where she goes, "If you don't go back to bed, Santa won't come." To which this boyfriend whispers in her ear, "He's not the only one." And instead of being like, "Oh, you pervert," she's like, "You're definitely right. Go to bed."
I can't be thinking about you. You know, if I get in my head, I can't get there.
Daddy's trying to make a white Christmas down here. Go to sleep.
But you sort of glean that it is this like it's a babysitter situation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because the
okay,
little
yeah.
girl-
Halloween. I mean, it's the Halloween.
Yeah, the
thing.
little girl calls Lanna Quigley's character like by her first name. It's not mom or whatever. So it's like, yeah, I got Tad to come over and we're fucking in
Yeah.
the basement and whatever.
Yeah.
So like the girl does go back to bed, and then it's like, uh-oh, Now she hears like jingle bell jingling outside, and she's like, "Oh, I have to go let the cat in." And I'm like, "Lady,
Yeah.
let's get our rocks off first here."
I agree with that. Yeah, but I heard the caller, and she lets the cat in, but more than the cat.
Because she's like, "Oh, there you are, bad kitty," and the cat runs in, and then you just hear, "Punish!" And dude, he comes around the corner, comes in the fucking house, punish.
I love it, dude.
Punish.
You see,
Punish.
you see something naughty, you do something. This is just responsible.
But I don't understand how he comes to find these people. Like, he just shows up at the
walks
house.
down
He
the
just
street.
like the look of the house, you know? Maybe there was a Santa Claus, a light up Santa Claus.
Well,
out
listen,
front.
Santa
that.
visits every house every year, right? For Christmas.
Hey, I'm just doing my job. all right?
Exactly. And
making
it's-
my rounds.
And it's Utah. There's one house.
Well, wait. So do the Mormons believe in Santa Claus?
That's a great question, Chris.
don't
I
know.
don't know.
Do they probably, I mean, knowing them, they probably have a Black Peter type situation.
Oh, that
Yes,
could be.
that-
Love
some evil
scaring
guy.
kids.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. It's that or it's a giant snake they worship. I don't know what goes on.
Either
out
or.
there. Yeah.
I mean, both evil, I say.
But what is hilarious is like he is chasing Lanna Quigley around this house. They are running, stamping their feet. She is screaming. He does. I gotta say, I think this is the best kill of the movie. He pulls a fucking Leatherface right here.
Yeah.
This
and
is the best. This is
lifts her
crazy.
up and mounts her on the mounted deer antler head.
Yes.
It's a deer head with the antlers still on it and whatnot, and just fucking like squishes it
I
right
do
You
on.
can
love
tell they got this deer head with like a nice molly into the stud or something. The way it's holding up this woman is
Oh,
fantastic.
it's looking great. I mean, it's like the Wayne's World camera 1, camera 2 with how they're switching between the old footage and the regular
Yes, you
footage.
do.
It's just like going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
That's a great way.
Because
to
all the
exemplify
puncture,
it.
like I think all the puncture stuff was cut.
Yes,
It was cut out. Yeah. Now it's restored in this questionable, footage quality, but it looks great.
No, it looks. I mean,
it's really cool. The
even the
special
old-
effects are great.
even the old footage is good. I love the look of that.
I mean,
stuff.
if there was
Yeah.
ever a time, it's fine to watch a grindhouse quality
Yeah.
print transfer.
True.
Like it's shitty movies like this. So it really adds to it, which is great. But I'm like, okay, like we get a good idea of what this house is. It's kind of like a ranch style situation
Mhm.
with the downstairs and whatever. It's not a massive purge house or anything like that.
Right,
No.
yeah.
How does this boyfriend not hear all the stamping and screaming
Yeah.
and furniture get like after she's murdered? It cuts back to him like laying on that pool table, like, "Babe, geez, my girlfriend's been gone an awful long time."
I mean, the weird that is weird, but like
He's just shooting pool.
well, he comes back into the room where she is hanging from the wall, and it's like, what the? That's and then like he passes her
Yeah,
and
her
looks
body's-
behind him, and is
yeah.
like, oh my god!
It's hilarious.
It's so funny. He's got a line, if this is some joke, I'm gonna kill her, which is great. But then Tommy comes out. This
Billy?
guy kind of has a little bit of a slobber knocker here. Tommy is the boyfriend. Billy is our
gotcha,
killer.
Yes.
Billy comes out, punish. And they get into like, it's kind of like a pro wrestling fight
Yeah.
for a little bit
Yes,
right
it's
here.
great, yeah.
I like seeing someone put up a fight. It's nice, and
It's pretty great.
then he gets thrown out the window. I think.
Dude, and
Yes.
it's finally, I'm watching this and I'm like, thank you. This is a more realistic after effect of jumping through a window in a movie. This dude's just got the window in his chest
Yes.
and in his
Yep.
face, and
Many
he's
pieces.
totally fucking dead.
That is what happens. Windows are the dangerous things, those are scary things. How about that for a horror movie? Windows.
Oh, look out, dude.
Yeah.
There probably is
Yeah.
something out there.
There isn't that the name of, oh, this is gonna be really dumb.
No,
An operating system.
No, that's not the Steve McQueen movie.
No, there's an Elijah Wood thriller of some
Open
kind.
windows.
Yes.
and it's
Oh.
it's for scrolling. Like
what's
It's like a
scary?
tabs.
it's a desktop movie
Yes.
though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like open
Closed,
tabs.
closed windows are scarier because you go through the glass then.
Yeah.
Open
Oh, that would
window,
be
you're
hurtful.
kind of all right
Sure.
unless you're on the second floor or above.
There is a pretty funny movie about a killer lawnmower. I think it's called Blades. You can get something like that with Windows.
Ooh,
Maybe,
yep,
maybe.
there you go.
Sure,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah. The window could talk. You could go up and down. The
Get out.
yeah.
Yes, sadly, that is not the plot to The House with the Laughing Windows, the Giallo movie.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not that. There's a killer.
You tried to blind me with these blinds, but I am now free.
My eyes are open now.
And it is you who will be blinded. And then there's like glass in the eyeballs.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh, I like this.
Double pane.
Oh,
glass.
double. Yes.
You have normal pain, but I, who must deal with all of your things, have double pain.
Oh, no, that's what it is, right? So when the trailer, it's like, this Halloween, you'll feel the pain. And it's written on the poster, and it's PANE.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Dude, this is $1 million.
When they're looking to make the grim remake of Monster House, please do call us.
Oh, absolutely.
The live action Monster House. Yeah, get us going.
By the way, speaking of people in lackluster Halloween sequels, this guy playing Tommy gets murdered in Halloween Curse of Michael Myers.
Wow, so everyone's in Halloween.
I think there's another dude later on in the film that's in part 5 also.
That's crazy.
There should be a what's it called with the Grammy? If you get all of the
you EGOT?
if you EGOT, you should be able to get an EGOT for like someone like just a background player who's been killed in every horror
Oh,
franchise.
yes. It's like you got
yes.
killed by Jason, Michael, Santa, window.
It's a Santa
Window.
The
window,
lawnmower,
Leatherface,
the Lord Christ. Yeah, all those guys.
Hellraiser, like the
Yeah.
big boys I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
That would be cool, man. I wonder if anyone's crossed all those thresholds.
Someone had to have done it the most. You know, obviously hasn't gotten to all of them, but like, who was killed by the most iconic slashers? That's an interesting question.
Our dead meat people might have to get on this for us.
Yeah,
I don't got the time to take on a project. of this
Consult our
size.
dead meat buds there,
Yeah.
get some numbers running on that. So yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. Like the little girl comes out at this point, by the way, after all this murders happen, is like Santa, and it's like, this is like where the movie's like, all right, how like awful do you think we're gonna be in this movie?
And when
And it's like,
you
is he gonna kill this little girl?
And I love that, you know, we always have this scene, and I love that it always is kind of the same, where it's like Jason Lives, sees all the kids. You're like, oh, he's going to kill them. And he just watches them sleep and leaves because
Yeah.
he sympathizes with them.
right.
Similar here, yeah.
Well, this
Have you
is
done
more-
anything naughty?
In
No.
thanks-
Are you sure?
In Thanksgiving, he feeds the cat. You know?
Oh,
Well, yes.
right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's an
Yeah.
amazing moment.
That
in
is really
Thanksgiving.
good. But this, this to me calls to like Frankenstein, like the these kind of interactions. And
Oh,
it's like,
sure.
you're always just like on that pen, and of course it's much darker in Frankenstein.
Well, I was gonna say the Frankenstein monster does indeed
Yes.
accidentally kill that
but
girl.
the tension of the scene is
Yes.
something I think they ride a lot with these.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar. I mean, just keep using them Frankenstein movies. Bride of Frankenstein. It's like, is he gonna kill that blind guy?
Yeah.
It's like, smoke, good. It's like he smoked you up, monster. Don't kill him.
It's okay.
Then we cut to these two cops, and then this is where I was like, the movie at this point, like your anchor through the whole thing is Billy. But then when we're doing the murder spree, now we're introducing all these characters, and Billy's not really the anchor as much. Because like, here's
That's
these
true.
two cops, and it's like, oh, we got a sign to be looking around. There's some Santa Claus guy supposedly causing trouble or whatever. And I'm like, who are either of you dudes?
I don't
Yeah.
care. I really, back here, I don't care.
But you know that kind of functions in a way that now you never know when Santa's going to strike, which
Right.
is sort of effective towards the last cop's kill.
Right. Because like, so right here, they're driving along. They see a dude dressed as Santa up on a ladder, like going into a window.
What kind of fucking psycho is this guy? So they bust
Yeah.
through the house. They run upstairs.
No knock, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's an emergency. And the wife's like, excuse me. The two cops run up the stairs,
It's
pull
great.
out their guns, and are going to kill this guy. And it's like the kid recognizes it as her father, daddy, or whatever.
It's a great comical. The two cops hear that and look
Yeah.
at each other. Daddy, daddy.
the door kicks in. He just says, "Meredith, I can explain."
But could you like I'm sure someone listening does this every year. I just find it odd to take a ladder and enter your own house through a window as Santa Claus to, I guess.
I don't get what the point of this. Like, what was the dad's goal? Because the little girl was totally asleep. So, like, what are you doing?
It's just the stupidest thing in the fucking world. Because, like, It's like, oh, is Santa Claus like the Tooth Fairy? Like, does he sneak?
Yeah.
Like, this isn't even Santa Claus shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'll say if any, I want to know about any folks growing up, relatives pretending to be Santa in extreme situations. Right in the mailbag, weallhatemovies@gmail.com. Anyone try to do the Phoebe Cates' dad from Gremlins? That's a horrible one.
Oh my God, what a moron.
Did your father ever try doing something from the one in Silent Night, Deadly Night? If so, how many times a year do you allow him to speak to you?
Yes. And now does you want to kill people as Santa Claus when you see sex now?
I would imagine so.
Please write in.
So he goes from killing those two teens there, Lanna Quigley and dude from Halloween 6 there, and then finds himself just wandering the woods because we cut to these two. This is hysterical shit. It's two boys who are like clearly at least 16 or 17 years old.
Right.
They're getting ready to go sledding in the middle of the night. First of all, I have to say, growing up in upstate New York, I know what a good sled path looks like. This is shit.
No,
this is absolute fucking shit.
Amateur hour here.
Total amateur hour, dude. It's these two guys like, all right, we're ready to go down the hill. And like, these actors are way too old for how these two characters are written, because then comes in two dudes that look exactly like them, and they're supposed to be the scary older boy bullies.
Yeah, it's a difference of like 33 and 36.
Yeah.
It is not so
much.
funny.
We do try to like milk some tension here, being like, I think there's someone else out there or whatever. And you're thinking of Santa because you heard the jingle for a second and it's like, oh my God.
Right.
But then it turns out to be those bullies who then like sucker punch them and steal their sleds.
Yep. Now
Which
we're
is
going
very
sledding.
Funny. Very funny.
Well, yeah, the minute they steal this, you're like, oh, where is he? Where's my boy? Where's his axe? Where is he?
Yep.
Well, he's coming right up. This is great. So the one guy goes down, and then the bigger, meaner bully goes to starts sledding.
I get to go sledding first because I'm a big bully.
And Santa cuts this dude's head off. Great fashion.
Amazing.
Naughty. Like, this dude pops out like the Mortal Kombat toasty guy.
Yes.
It's like, here's this bully going down the sled, going down the hill on the sled. Naughty. Decapitation.
Hey, you're driving along.
It's so good. And then like the guy waiting for his buddy to come down the hill, like, yeah, we got the little kid sleds, right, Buford?
Dude, where's your head?
Yeah. Oh man, it's awesome. This guy just starts doing. I gotta say, this bully screaming. This dude's got a good scream on him.
Yeah.
I felt like John Travolta at the end of Blowout and watching the movie. I'm like, yeah, it's a good scream.
Yeah.
It's a good scream.
I can feel it. I can feel it right here.
The head
That's
rolling
a great
after
ending,
it,
by the
too.
way.
Oh, yeah.
I just
Oh, yeah.
rewatched
Gorgeous.
Blowout again. What a great movie.
Primo motion picture. The sled coming down with just the corpse on it is great, and the head rolling after it, which you have to feel like Billy picked that up and threw it down the hill, right? Like that wasn't just the force of the thing. He was like,
got stuck. Okay,
yeah.
hold on.
You're gonna want this.
Play some soccer.
So Sister Margaret at some point is like, oh, by the way, he's probably going back to the orphanage, which he should be, because this Mother Superior should have been the number one villain or the number one victim or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh man, he's going back there. All units respond to the orphanage or whatever.
Right. She's with like a detective or something going there by herself.
This nothing old guy detective out of
Johnny
nowhere.
Come Lately. Like the thing is, like, in something like Halloween or something, like this would have been a character throughout the entire film.
Yes.
But it's barely a role.
I don't think the guy even has a name. It's just like detective.
The problem is they blow their load in doing all of the people at the workspace in the one like moment. Like, there's only one crime scene. There's nothing to go to.
That's the thing. It's like, and I understand, folks. It's Utah. There's no real towns or anything.
Sure.
But the like, it's something like Halloween. You get a texture of the town.
Yeah.
The kids come and go. You see the adults come and go.
The sheriff's got the name.
You have a feel for what that town is. You do not have that here. You have just the toy store and then everything that comes after it. You could have tried to integrate it a little more. Have like a town center where you see this cop at some point earlier in the film.
Well, because that stuff's always mislabeled as downtime stuff. And I'm like, no, it's important.
It is important.
You can't just say like, yeah, okay, people aren't getting killed or fucking. I'm sorry.
But it's atmosphere and it helps you buy into the premise, buy into the film. It feels like a real place.
Yeah, I mean, like if, let's say, Lanna Quigley and the boyfriend, or maybe it's just Lanna Quigley's character, came into the toy store, oh, I got to get something for my cousin or whatever. And then like Billy sees her at one point. Like that's at least something.
She
it's a
flashes
character.
someone. I mean,
Oh,
like,
well,
this-
maybe
yeah,
that-
you know,
Sure.
small stuff to just give this some character.
Yeah. So this APB goes out for Billy. The dude is like, and by the way, we are authorized. You shoot that Santa on sight. You understand? Shoot to kill.
Yeah.
And this one cop responds. This is the dude I believe that's also in Halloween 5 playing
Okay.
some doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
This
then when
trigger happy cop here.
they roll up to the orphanage, and there is a Santa approaching the children, and they light him up, and they
Ooh, from the back, dude. He doesn't even get a look at this guy's
No.
fucking face.
great a little, I guess squibs or whatever. Great a little effect work here, seeing the blood come out of this dude. Falls down. It turns out he was like what, Father O'Malley.
He was the priest that they hired to do the Santa
A
thing for the
deaf
kids.
priest. Like,
Oh yeah, that's because like the Sister Margaret like hears the report over the detective's radio, and she's like, no, the physical description of that guy is all wrong. That's not Billy. That sounds like Father O'Malley or whatever. And then the guy's like, well, he said he screamed his name and he didn't turn around. And he's like, that's because the priest is deaf. And I'm like, you just shot this deaf old man
Yeah.
in front of children.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, you're
and
fired.
it's so funny. It's like so many points. Like when he gives that box cutter to the little girl after Denise and Tommy are
Oh
killed.
yes.
I don't know if we mentioned that, but
You're
that and then this, you're springing up tons of other.
Oh, you're making a little army of Billies.
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
she's gonna become the Easter Bunny eventually.
Yeah,
It's all gonna come back to you.
Well, that's the thing is you take in our SantaCon version, you have like a quick flashback, and one of the killers was one of the kids at the
Oh.
orphanage.
yeah,
Yeah.
And
baby.
he made his way to the big city, and look out.
So yeah, the Mother Superior like brings all the kids inside or whatever, and she's like trying to distract them by singing like Christmas carols and shit, while this other cop like goes exploring the grounds or whatever, looking around. This part where he like goes into a weird like outside basement kind
It's
of
like
thing.
that scene from Tar. Like he's going down into this thing,
Yeah.
searching
He
for
sees
this
some
Santa.
weird dogs, turns around, bashes his head on the
Oh no, it's
stairs.
nothing. I fell down a little bit. Sorry.
I mean, it's like a weird like staircase to a bunker or some shit. I don't
Yeah.
know what's going on here.
Yeah, this whole ending sequence is a little weird geography wise,
Yeah,
but
like-
it's still kind of cool.
It's cool. Like, dude doesn't find anything, so he comes back out of the basement, and then it's just punish. And this dude, much like Scatman Crothers in The Shining, gets a fucking axe right to the chest.
Yeah.
Dude dead instantly here. Yeah, no, he is a toasty, absolutely. So like here, Billy's on the premises, blah blah blah. I do love the great thing right before he goes into the orphanage, he uses the axe to decapitate that snowman.
That's great.
You got to put that in the kill count.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Yep.
part of the body
Mhm.
count. That snowman lost his life.
Yep, that's children's dreams. He's killing children's dreams. It's very nice.
He slaughtered a child's imagination over there.
Please.
Okay.
Body count.
What was naughty about that imagination? People shouldn't be snow anyway.
Humans are flesh and blood. We're not making human people out of snow.
Yeah. Okay, Santa killed my parents. That's bad enough. A snowman ate my
Honestly,
brother.
We're due for a classy reboot of Jack Frost, the snowman horror movie.
Way less carrot related jokes.
Yes, less
like let's make it a
jokes.
real serious horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, steal the beginning of the sentimental Jack Frost with Michael Keaton,
Yep.
where he's a blues man.
Yep.
Or
Oh
you
yeah,
do
the
like
Jack
the,
Frost Blues Band.
Like the Invisible Man, and it's like a tech bro that accidentally turned himself into water or something. And he has to like he turns into ice just to have a form.
Yeah, no, I like that. Mr.
Oh, it's
Freeze.
so great. So yeah, he marches. A little kid lets him in. It's like, oh, Santa's here.
Right,
And the kid
yeah.
opens the door, and like, I gotta tell you, this is the biggest non-payoff tease of this movie. He is ready to slay this Mother Superior, the
Yeah.
person you
Oh.
have wanted dead from like that second movement of the movie. Like from the moment you meet this character, you want her fucking iced.
And you want her dead even more now because she's yelling, "Hey, no, there is no Santa Claus to keep these kids away from him. Come on, you're ruining the magic for the kids."
Yes, you're right.
William, listen to me. Lieutenant Pembry, this woman. Put your face
There you go.
under her face
Yep.
and pretend to be a dead nun and get them to take you out.
Oh,
That's Mother Superior there, goddamn
Her name's Mother Superior.
Oh, poor Jim Pembry, dude.
But he is shot before he can kill her, unfortunately.
Yeah, this fake detective character just ices. So many people getting shot in the back in this movie. By
Quite
the
a
way.
lot.
Yeah.
So he's dead, and then it's just sort of the last thing you see is, and this I didn't entirely tie together. I had to like be told this part because the little boy is not really. There's one scene with this little boy before where you're supposed to get that it's the little brother who was the infant at the time of the murder,
Right.
and now is like this little kid.
Terrible job. At it.
Yeah, it
is a bad job.
It doesn't come off here, but it's like he's the little brother of Billy. He sees his brother dead, and he looks at the Mother Superior and just goes, "Naughty," and it's freeze frame.
Punish.
Yeah, he does. I mean, that little boy becomes Garbage Day in part
Yes.
two.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
See, we could all become
And that
something.
little boy grew up
It's
to
the
say,
circle of life.
Garbage Day. I do love that.
"Oh, it's
delivery.
great! It's so great." We're playing another creep fake fucking Christmas song at the end here. Just it's some like Santa's watching, he's always watching.
It's true.
kind of a
He'll
thing.
bury you in an unmarked grave. He's Santa Claus.
But that is the end of this movie, the end of Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yes, it would indeed spawn 4 sequels,
Jesus.
only one of which people give a shit about. But I will say, actually, I have not seen the Monty Hellman Part 3. I've seen 4. No, I've definitely seen 5, though, because 5 is the Mickey Rooney Toy Maker movie.
Oh,
I did
wow.
not see this.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's dumb as shit. I watched it on Shudder, I think, last holiday season.
I got to get on these.
Would recommend, and it's fucking funny because Mickey Rooney was one of the people that came out against that first movie.
Oh, geez, what do you got to show little Santa Claus getting all the kids all scared for?
Uh-huh.
Did
Oh,
they-
I'll be in part 5.
Did they get so angry when? I guess not, because it's different. It's Santa Claus on the attack over Scrooged. I guess he's an action hero in that, so he's not actually getting killed.
Yeah, he's still kind of
But
saving
still,
the day.
like slandering his image, I would say.
That's true. And the answer is no, because
God.
these people really enjoy picking and choosing
Garbage.
Yeah.
their outrage here.
Mhm.
But that is going to do it for this motion picture. Go around the horn here. Final thoughts, Eric Siska?
Yeah, no, I think this is, I mean, there's obviously a few faults in it. It's not like a perfect movie. It's just nearly perfect.
Sure.
No, I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's kind of a great movie to put on around the holiday season when you kind of wish Halloween didn't end, which is
Right.
kind of me all the time. So I would recommend it, and I think it is a lot of fun. Obviously, it's not as good as Window, the horror movie,
course,
for
absolutely.
instance,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You could do a lot worse. I enjoyed this film.
Chris Cabin.
This I recommend it for sure. It's a good introduction to slashers if you're not trying to go with the big ones.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to get like a lean and meaner, like just go one in. It means like even the uncut version, 84 minutes, it really does fly right the fuck by.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, there's like not much to it. And like as we've been saying, there's not much to it, and that's both a positive and a negative for me. And I think it's worth. I mean, I think Soph saw this 2 years ago and was like, I like it. Like, and she had to like. She saw Scream first, and she like was freaked out by the Drew Barrymore kill.
Sure.
But like now she's gone in, and she likes this one. She likes a few other ones. So like, yeah, I would recommend it.
Yeah, I totally recommend this movie. I'm still more of a Christmas Evil stan
Yes.
myself.
It is a better movie.
But this is really good, and it'd been a while since I'd seen it, and I think it's totally worth your time. It's quick, and again, like, you know, there is a wealth of holiday horror. They're churning them out every year. There's more of them now, and like, I got to tell you, just like anything, it is too much of a good thing, and like some of these movies are just not good.
Yeah.
But
Right.
this entirely works. I
Yes.
think I would recommend it. So check it out. That's going to do it for this episode. If you want more We Hate Movies, we are going holiday crazy.
We are indeed.
Right now, if you are on our Patreon at the $8 level or up, you're listening to this holiday horror episode ad free.
That's
Mhm.
right.
On the
No
Patreon.
advertisements. No ad reads by us. No ad reads inserted. That is available to you now.
Yes, indeed. And we're having all kinds of stuff going on. The sideshows here, our animation
Oh, yeah.
damnation. We are dealing with the absolutely terrible Doug's Christmas special.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Doug's Christmas special or story or whatever it's called,
Horrid.
where the town is trying to kill his dog, Pork Chop. Chris Cabin freaked out. He hated that fucking
I really
episode.
do.
You have to listen to his vitriol and also listen to us struggle to get through the Star Wars holiday special. I think I mentioned it earlier up top. We did that on the Gleep Glossary, a special presentation, 60th episode of the Gleep Glossary,
Oh, yeah.
our Star Wars Shine show, where in this time we went deep dive on that Star Wars holiday special, redoing an episode we did 8 or 9 years ago.
Part 2, I believe,
Yes,
is what we
part
should be
It's Redux.
calling it.
That's a redux.
On the Once in a Lifetime, of course, we are going to be doing a very nutty Christmas with Melissa Joan Hart.
Speaking of terrifying nutcrackers,
Oh,
man.
boy.
Right. So this is a
It's-
Lifetime movie about a nutcracker that comes to life and tries to romance a lady. So get on that. That's at the $10 level. There's so much stuff going on. We've got a commentary track on The Prisoner of Azkaban, the Harry Potter motion picture.
That's right. That'll be coming out towards the end of this month. Christmas times all over that movie. You get your Christmas section of Harry Potter stories, of
There
course.
you
Of course,
go.
and like we would be bringing up Melrose 210, but there's really nothing Christmassy about.
Nothing
it's
Christmassy,
not-
but
There's a
sexy
big
stuff.
fucking fat episode on
There
there for
is.
you anyway.
There is
Oh,
indeed.
yeah.
Take a break from Christmas and hit the beach with Melrose 210. That is our recap show where we talk about Beverly Hills 90210 and Melrose Place. And if you also want another break from Christmas, the Nexus is back to the regularly scheduled programming after our episode with Search for Spock. We are now just doing an episode of TOS and an episode of TNG.
I haven't looked at the TNG episode yet. Maybe they're doing like some Dickensian Christmas shit on the holodeck.
Perhaps,
maybe.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you never know. Sometimes the Nexus lines up in a weird way like that. And you'll get a
Mr. Data,
surprise.
I'm playing Charles Dickens on the holodeck.
I get to say street urchin.
Why don't you Charlie my Dickens?
And here on the Tuesday feed, Tuesday lineup of episodes, I should say, the holiday fun rolls on next week. And if Steve Sadak were here, he'd be telling you we're talking about a movie even more terrifying
Yes.
than this movie, Chris Cabin.
Love Actually. Finally, we are doing this hunk of
Oh, yeah.
shit.
I have never seen the whole thing. Only,
my God,
only little
Eric.
clips. It looks like not for me. I'm excited to dig in.
Full on Nightmare Town. Just get ready for it, baby.
I've seen this movie approximately one time. No, exactly one time, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
wow.
But what I didn't recall, dude, we're looking at like 2 hours and 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, baby. There's a
Oh.
lot of actors in that movie, and they all get their time.
They certainly do. So until next week, where we're talking about the holiday horror spectacular that is Love Actually, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy.